Hello, everyone. I do believe that I am live, and I do believe that for a change, I have not left any versions of my YouTube feed open so that I will start hearing my own voice in about... Nope. I actually did it for once. Hooray! Well, now, this has been a very interesting few hours. I kind of wanted this stream to be about an end-of-year retrospective thing, but it seems like less than an hour after I decided to announce this, an entire company just decided to spontaneously disintegrate and evaporate. Will this stream have been worth killing Irium for? It's not Irium, okay? Irium and Bond Live EN are two different companies. I think that Bond Live EN is affiliated with Irium, but they are not related. They are not otherwise related to it. It's basically... I don't even know how the hell it works, but yeah, this has been a very, very interesting few hours, and you know how we used to joke? You know, we used to joke about whenever I went to sleep, someone died? Well, I got rid of the whole I'm asleep, I'm awake thing in Discord because I thought it was a bit redundant and played out, and now it's like... Now it's like I announce a stream or something, and a company dies. I don't understand. How? What is this power? I don't want this kind of power, guys. I don't want this ability. I do not want to have the ability to just randomly destroy corporations whenever I do something. And it's just really depressing. It's just really depressing. Here, let me just give me 1 second. Let me just ping the Discord as well. And also set up stream, streamer mode on Discord. Yeah, I would have had a bit greater plan for this, but like as I just said, the Bond Live stuff has literally just started happening, and yeah, it looks like I don't even want to talk about it honestly because it looks like it could be really bad. Like this could genuinely be a Selene level disaster on an indie scale in terms of the amount of physical harm that people might have gone through in this whole thing. I've got like Kuri Rinji telling me something in DMs that I'm not going to share, but yeah, it looks really bad. It looks really, really genuinely unfunny levels of bad, and I really genuinely hope that anyone who is involved in that whole thing right now gets out of there perfectly okay. Like, this is unironically the time when you should be, like, giving support to talents, because... Oh dear. Yes. Just give me 1 second, guys, please. Please don't, please ignore the fact that everything is on fire. Is on fire and exploding. So yes, I will address stream in just a few moments, please. And please bear with me. What's that weird thing that Tohu does? Like, Proctor is being prepared, please wait warmly. No, I should not be stimming with that thing right now, please no. Okay, let's go and set streamer mode. There we go. I'm finally safe. I'm finally not going to be plagued by the dozens of messages pinging me on Discord. Yeah, I do apologize for the whole Discord thing. Colin 474, honestly, with Gura streaming yesterday and you streaming today, the industry had absolutely no chance of survival. Please turn off Discord. Don't worry, I just did it. I'm sorry. I forgot that it kept showing. The trouble is that streamer mode on Discord, if you set it to enable automatically, every single time I open OBS, it automatically enables streamer mode, and it's really irritating because it truncates a lot of your information on Discord, so it's very hard to navigate. And so if I'm doing something like setting up OBS, I'll tend to turn it off to turn off the auto open function on it. And so in an event like this where there's been a whole ton of stuff going on, yeah, I definitely did not remember to turn it on automatically before starting to stream. So I do apologize for all the people that just thought they'd gotten pinged. That was entirely my fault. I apologize. But yeah, as Ihara said, you're like the King Midas of VTuber deaths. I don't want to be, okay? I want to be positive. I want to be nice. I want to be good. Oh, all right? I don't like being like this. I don't like it like this. This has been the year of total corpo death. I think that a month or so ago, Bow the Whale put out a video or made a comment saying that she counted over 20 VTuber corporations that had died, or agencies that had died in the last year alone, and I think there's been like at least 4 in December alone. We've had multiple things closing down, and it's been a really strange year. I believe it's 20 total. Yeah, I was just saying Azahara, like, but with Bow the Whale, that's more. That's more. I'm exhausted. I'm genuinely exhausted. Like, not in terms of the amount of times that the amount of sleep that I've had. I'm perfectly fine with that, but just looking back in the past year and seeing everything that has happened since the start of 2024, I think that 2024 can sort of, no, I'd say right out, 2024 has been the most tumultuous year for VTubing yet. Maybe you could argue that I think 2022 was when the first Hollow EN wave came out. You would call that the most constructive year for VTubing, because that was when the whole EN VTuber scene really exploded. 2024 has been the year of total corpo death, and it has been a very bloody, a very unpleasant, and a very miserable time, an awful lot. Yeah, D Suffers said 2024 started with Pomu graduating and Niji screwing up their own announcement. So much fun as a Niji bro. I'd say 2020, I think you mean 2024. Sav right there. It has been an incredibly destructive year for VTubing, and I think there are many reasons for that. Dr. Mills, I'm seeing a correlation between Proctor doing gardening and each tweet about it kills a corpo. Oh god, please no. I don't want my gardening to be the thing that kills corporations. I mean, in fairness, I mean, when you look at VHosho, although VHosho isn't that bad, if VHosho got rid of fruit, it would be a pretty decent corporation, I'd say. Please excuse me, I'm having some coffee. But yeah, 2024 has been the year of total corpo death, and I think there's many reasons for that. Hello, sir. Missed my fave, Featherman. Ah, thank you for that. I like that name, Featherman. I prefer the Lord of the Wings, though. 2024 was the year of the Great Cleansing, as I predicted. You could argue that. It's the worst yet. 2025 can be more destructive. I mean, the thing is, going into 2025, what is there left? I know the corpo scene, I think in Indonesia and Singapore and other places like that, that are very much kind of micro corpos with barely 2 views, they seem to be doing decently well, and by decently well, I mean we're still seeing ones emerging and forming. They still fall apart pretty regularly, but their scene does not seem to be... There are still groups that could arguably succeed coming into it, but at the same time, where does EN VTubing even go from here? Because there, yeah, as Valet said, there's nothing left to burn. Or is it Vale? I'm not sure, sorry. I would kind of go for Valet, as opposed, because Vale is like more of an adjective. No, it's more of a common noun, not a noun. I'm sorry. I do sincerely apologize if I'm babbling, but my brain has just been fried reading all the crap that I've just read in the last hour or so. I've got even more DMs as I'm just typing this stuff, so yeah. Muffy Graves, did you see the 3 new Canadian VTuber corporations that popped up this month? Could you name them? Because I know there have been VTuber corporations that have emerged in the last month or so, or 2 months, but I don't know any that are specifically Canadian, so feel free to name them. Maybe you're talking about stuff like SVP or something. But yeah, in 2024, so many... I think that you could sum up 2024 as the year when VTubing entered the crucible phase of the industry. And what a crucible does is that it takes raw material and it refines it. And that, the dross, as it's called, the waste metal, the impure metals, the imperfections, rise to the top of the mix and are then scooped off and thrown away. In fact, yes, that's a good way to describe it. 2024 has been the crucible year for VTubing. It has been the year when The many impure alloys of corporations that have emerged in the last 2 or 3 years have been poured into the crucible, and they have been melted down, and they have had the scum and the dross rise to the top and has been scooped off and thrown away. I think off the top, not at my computer right now, is VNex. VNex as in literally VNEX, or did you accidentally mean to type VNext? Goth girls are temporary, fabulous featherman is forever. Oh no, oh no. Why must you stream while Shiori is on? Look, would you rather I streamed on New Year's when every VTuber and their dog's squeaky toy is going to be holding like an end of year stream? Yeah, I wanted to get mine in early when there's quite a few people that aren't streaming yet. Next. VNex. Give me a moment. Let me just note that down quickly. So that, yeah. Look up VNex. Thank you for that, Buffy Graves. I will definitely look into them. I feel like we might get our third Niji En termination to add to our graduation queue. The whole Niji Sanji L stuff, I've considered closing the thread a couple of times because we're kind of getting to the pure rat stage again that we had like 3 or 4 months after Selen's graduation and rebirth, when there wasn't a vast amount happening and people were just kind of sitting around saying, I hate Niji En, and others going, yeah, I hate Niji En even more. Well, I'm a true Niji En hater. No, I hate Niji En even more than all of you people. V-neck is a type of t-shirt. I think you mean V-neck. Proc that didn't stream on Christmas. I basically did nothing over Christmas, to be perfectly honest. Azihara, that D suffers. I sincerely hope our girl Twisty is fine. Also, as a Christmas gift to you, I apologize for siding with Raimu. I've seen the light. She belongs in Niji. I did watch the Raimu Endo clip where she is talking about how nice and lovely. In fact, can somebody link me to that? I meant to look it up beforehand, but like once again, everything just kicked off an hour or two before a stream. If somebody would be so kind as to just ping me on the Discord with a link to the Raimu Endo Twitch clip, or not the Twitch clip, just the clips of her talking about her experience in 2024, because I think those are definitely worth a look over and a kind of contrast to how things are in Nietzsche as a whole. How are the animals? All of my animals are actually quite good. I am enjoying the fact that everything seems to be healthy, and there's one old quail that is currently sitting on top of our dishwasher in a box, because he's old and he's got arthritis, and she has, or he actually, it's a male quail, who is definitely a male because he whistles very loudly during the day in his box. It's quite cute, although it is rather also cacophonic. Luckiest, she put out something new. Last I was aware of was her attempt mentions. I don't know what the attempt mentions are that you might be talking about. No, that's not what I meant to click. That's not what I meant to click at all. Please give me a moment. Please give me one moment. I apologize for the dead air as I just look something up. This bloody thing has come on so far. Where are the thread marks? Oh yeah, here it is. Oh, that's good. I was able to find it. Thank you very much. Excellent, that's easy enough. I'll probably play that in just a couple of minutes. Yeah, D suffers. Raimu at the end of the year thanked Niji. It's such a shame she came out tone deaf at best. Murray, if he's on a boat, he'd be a male quail under sail. If a storm comes, he's a male quail under sail in a gale. Murray, I hate you. I hate you. But that is quite funny. Thank you very much. Okay, let me just transfer this over to my streaming thingamajiggery jogger. I've got quite a few tabs that I will go through. Something that I do want to say is that I stopped doing TVA in review, and actually, before I get into that, I just want to say the last 2 or 3 months for me have been very, very difficult because, unfortunately, my mother, who you might remember that I posted on the Discord that she had been cleared of potentially having bowel cancer, which was a great relief to us. Unfortunately, we thought that she had bowel cancer because she has very, very serious and constant pain because she had a hysterectomy. And because of the hysterectomy, basically everything has gone downwards. I'm trying to spare you the unpleasant biological details, but yeah, she is in very severe and constant pain all the time, pretty much. And it has been very distracting for me to have to take care of her and help her out. I mean, fortunately, she's still fairly mobile and fairly capable, but she has most definitely had an awful lot of problems and trouble recently. And I've been, well, when you have a relative that is enduring an awful lot of hardship, you're kind of not particularly interested in streaming and talking about silly VTuber drama, okay? So I don't mean that as any kind of excuse or anything, but again, I want to make sure that people understand what it's like. So, sorry, I've just got a DM from somebody. So, I'll be... Ian is imploding with a possible... So I just went to update. Somebody just pinged me about something. I'm so sorry to hear it. It's a bother, more than a little. Ice cream, yeah, after my mother had hers, it was hell for a couple of months. Hope she can recover and things can go back to more normal. Man, I almost forgot that there has been some of my relatives that won't make it to meet 2025. I'm sorry for your loss. I mean, fortunately, my mother is not in any particular danger of dying anytime soon. It's just the fact that she is very, very physically limited at the moment, and I have to just be there for her a lot. And, you know, as somebody who I owe pretty much my entire... Well, I mean, I literally owe my life to my mother, obviously. She had to give birth to me, but no, my mother was somebody who very much put the effort into making me a good person when she very much did not have to, and so... I am not going to be one of those sons that pretends that his parents don't exist anymore the moment he gets any level of independence. No, I am going to be there for my family, and I sincerely hope that everybody else would be the same. That's another tragedy of VTubing, really. I know so many VTubers who have absolutely dreadful relationships with their parents. I mean, There's Kirsha, of course, who has a complete insane drug addict for a mother. There are several others who have very serious issues with their parents. I think that, is it Inuyaka Purin, who's now Muyu in Phase Connect? She has absolutely terrible relatives. I think that... there's a couple of other VTubers that I know. I don't know how public some of it is, so I won't say who, but there are quite a few that have very, very, very abusive relatives. It just is horrible to me. I find it so dreadful how there is this thread of severe mental illness and destruction. He actually used the Comic Sans version of the Madman. Hello, Alex. Nice to see you. It's glad that you could turn up. We're kind of scuffed at the moment and improvised. She's Flip, isn't she? That's kind of obvious. They'd be terrible. Filipino and Indonesian and Chinese. The only problem with Chairman Mao's one-child policy is that it wasn't a zero-child policy. I'm sorry. Asian parents are horrible. I have very rarely heard any positive stories about Asian parents. Trauma builds a good sense of humor. I mean, it can do, it can do, I agree with you, but yeah, it's really one of the nastiest things that I kind of, I don't wish that I could go back, because I I want to know things. I wouldn't want to be a fool. But the last year or so has exposed me to a very dark aspects of the VTuber industry. It's not just me, I don't claim special knowledge, but we've all seen how badly run and how destructive an awful lot of industry practices have been. I like your pro-genocide message. I mean, I didn't say genocide, I just said they don't have children, and in fairness, they seem to have taken me seriously. I mean, just look at the Korean birth rate right now, and like even the Chinese. Like, I think that the Japan is on course to have 1 million people less per year, every year from now on. Like, just 1 million people fewer in Japan, unless they cuck out and decide to become, you know, migrant central. If it Graves, there's a lot of side effects that come with trauma too. They absolutely do, and that's really tragic. I'll just finish my coffee a second. Yeah, I thought this thumbnail, which somebody kindly AI generated for me, was pretty accurate. Because it just shows the state of 2024, isn't it? Just the skeletons of dead corporations just dancing in the background as poor traumatized talents struggle through things. Although, as we have seen with things like Iron Project, or Ayan Project, people keep correcting me on my pronunciation, yeah, the talents weren't entirely not to blame in that whole thing either, considering the whole Blaze Shinryu thing and the stuff that was tossed around there. Let me have a sip. Oh, didn't mean to be that loud. Oh my god. I've just realized something, guys. I have a water bottle of honey and lemon here. I've made a terrible mistake. Because, so at Christmas time, I went into the shopping center, and they always have, you know, Christmas unique food and stuff. And I looked around. I really like honey. I'm a very big fan of honey. And so I looked and I saw, oh, they've got an interesting kind of honey. It's hot honey. It's honey with like chili spice in it too. And so I bought this honey and I took it home and I tasted it. Oh my goodness, that is actually extremely hot. Like genuinely like strong jalapeno level hot. Now for my streams, I quite like honey and lemon because it's very good for my throat. It's very soothing. I think a lot of streamers use it. I've just realized I've made my honey and lemon drink with the hot honey. And it's... Give me a second, please. That is genuinely really hot. Like, very, very hot. Ren friend, I sometimes just spoon down honey. Yeah, I love honey. I love acacia honey, personally. Should say on the bottle that the hot honey is habanero level hot. It's completely... All it has is, like, it just says honey and chili. That's it. There's no other ingredients list or anything or heat level. And I just bought it because it tasted nice. But I didn't intend to put 2 spoonfuls of it in this bottle of... in this bottle of water. Woo! Oh, yes, that's strong. That is strong. I hate honey with passion. Well, you're just an inferior species then. Sorry. Proctor will end up with an arse like the Japanese flag tomorrow. I'm fairly good at dealing with heat, actually. I have quite strong... I've got Carolina Reaper pepper sauce that I can eat a fair amount of without any problems. have to tell anyone without anyone allergic. If you're allergic to it, then that's fair. That's nothing wrong with that. What was I gonna do? Oh yes, I was gonna do this, wasn't I? When you oh my goodness, the one time I try and use my own damn forms for proper things. Okay, here we are now. How long is this? 1 second. Okay, let's have a listen to this. Please tell me if it's too loud. I'll just turn that down a little bit because I have no idea how loud this will come in.
Hey, I guess I processed most of the initial emotions and now I'm just happy. I'm like, man, I'm happy. And I'm really thankful that you guys are here with me and you're here for Etheria. And I'm really happy that a lot of people were able to find Etheria because of the concert. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm in my happy place right now. I really am. I am happy that I am still here and I want to keep it that way for the time being. For the time being, I don't want to go anywhere. It'll be kind of silly. Who would have ever imagined if I had quit a couple months ago, I wouldn't have been able to be in for the very first time in my life as a yen. I wouldn't have been able to freaking perform with my senpais.
Yes. And there were a few rather obvious empty spaces in said concerts. They conquered India to get rid of the spice. I like spice. I'm a big fan of spice, honestly.
In Taipei. And then a couple months ago, I wouldn't have been able to have my first 3D live concert ever. And if I had just quit slightly a month ago, I wouldn't have been able to have my 3D debut.
You're dead.
Which gave me an opportunity to hang out with so many people I have met because of Neji. Inside and outside of the company, which is kind of wild. 2024 was a great year. Thank you.
Yeah, 2024 was a great year, everyone. Let's just remember that. Remember her saying that 2024 was a great year for Niji-sanji. Niji-sanji is a family. Niji-sanji would never do anything bad. That concert was so hilariously cheap looking. Yeah, we had an entire... Didn't we have a whole dedicated thread talking about how crap it was, or was that just inside the Niji-sanji L collection? Zuli still behind, but Fury's parents really do not like her streaming as well, even though she is trying to grow and needs her meds a lot. Which one is that? Is that like Furry Raventail or something? Ice cream. This is the brainwashing at work. If you quit now, you won't get these basic fun things. Meanwhile, Amelia Watson over here, like, hello, yes, I literally created an entire 3D studio for myself after I left Hololive. I sent you another VCorpo on Discord. Oh, message request. Why the heck am I... Yes, I have actually seen that before. I think that was actually a joke directed at some other place, like V Reverie or something that kept dying. Kiba. Oh! Ferntail. Oh, yeah, Ferntail. This is insane levels of cope from her or incredibly tone deaf. Good grief. Yeah, it is very, very, very tone deaf.
Chat for making this, like, sustainable. Thank you for making this, first of all, my job. Oh my god, I cannot believe I actually quit my job to become a full-time VTuber. Damn, that still hits kind of hard. 2022, I think I quit my job in 2022. I didn't quit as immediately as when I debuted because that's kind of dumb. Thank you for letting me quit my job to like fully enjoy, not enjoy, my job here in Niji. Oh my god.
Niji-sanji really is a family.
You quit your job to stream Final Fantasy. Heck yeah. Imagine how many people can say that out loud actually while being proud. Not a lot of people. I don't regret it. Because I get to stream Final Fantasy and I also get to be in concerts. and sing. That's like the dream.
When they're not cancelled.
So thank you for making this possible. I'll keep on doing my best. Thank you so much for supporting everybody in Angel, Oshi or not. Thank you for supporting Etheria and Sutomo and being girl for the Nijiian girls. It was really nice to have somebody to perform to, because what's the point of performing to a freaking wall? It's not as fun and not rewarding at all. So thank you so much.
That's what Pomu said, so she can okay Minecraft, and yet she left Niji. Yeah, and Mint Fantome it has definitely... Mint Fantome has totally fallen off. You know, she missed out on so much in Niji EN, didn't she? Like, it was so dreadful the way she left Niji, and her career has just never been the same. It's just cratered completely. I don't even remember the last time that I saw anything Mint Fantome related anywhere in any capacity. That's so dreadful. If only she'd stayed in Niji-sanji, guys. If only.
For being there for Niji. I want more people to see how amazing Niji actually is. More people. You know, oh my god, there were so many people watching Angel. That was kind of crazy. I want more people to understand how amazing Niji is. And how good of a company it actually is.
Oh.
Because there's so many of us. Oh my god, yeah, 150,000 people watching is oh my god, that's too many people. I'll keep on doing my best. If you're still here for me, I'll be doing my best for you. That's the only if that I'll give you guys. If you're still here for me, I'll still promise to do my best. In the upcoming future, as Rainbow End of Third Wave Etheria from Niji-sanji Ian. Let's do our best, you and I. How about that?
Do you think management contractually enforces her to say, like, Niji-sanji En a minimum number of times per stream, just so that people remember the company even exists? Yes, D-Sepher says, wow, you are clinging on to what's left of your audience, Slacktivists and Fujoshis included. Yeah, that's the thing, is that Raimu's fanbase, like, Raimu received some of the most intense backlash from people because she interacted with Vox. And the Vox fanbase just turned on her and harassed her viciously and constantly for ages, to the point where even Vox had to just sit down and say, stop doing that, please. And here she is defending the company. She seems like a bit of a bootlicker. Yeah, this is pure bootlicking behavior. I kind of would wonder if she might not have an ulterior motive for still being in Niji-sanji. I just can't help but wonder if, something like that would be happening. Are you picking up on the very, very subtle subtext that I'm trying to imply here about her and other people and so forth? I'm not sure if I'm being... This is very, very subtle, okay? It's very hard to pick up on what I'm trying to say here, but won't say out loud deliberately. So we'll just move on.
Let's finish this year with the best way that we can. Let's close it with a golden bow after Enju. And let's see what 2025 brings for us. I'm kind of scared, not gonna lie.
I'd be scared too.
2024 was just crazy. I wonder what 2025 has for us in store. We'll see. Hopefully cool stuff. Because 2024 was great. Despite everything that happened, the fact that I can still fangirl and focus so much on the positive aspects of the year, because I had so many positive things happening.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to put it, and that's a very kind of mask-off moment. You know, it's okay that my company had somebody bullied and harassed so badly by management that she tried to commit suicide, not once, but twice. It's okay that my corporation is basically the blackest name in all of VTubing at the moment. It's okay that they never once issued a single apology for what they did to Selene. The only apology they ever gave to people was to their stockholders. But that's okay, because I, Reimu Endo, had a good year. That's okay. That makes it all okay. That's fine. There's no problems. No issues, no problems, nothing like that. It's all good.
It just means that it was a good goddamn year. It just means that they weren't enough to... They and their negativity and their stupidity was not enough. And that is a really good sign, honestly.
Wait, let me just go back, because I was distracted by something for there.
Focus so much on the positive aspects of the year because I had so many positive things happening. It just means that it was a good goddamn year. It just means that they weren't enough to... They and their negativity and their stupidity was not enough. And that is a really good sign, honestly. I'm so happy for my 2024 was amazing. Holy shit. Thank you so much, chat. It was amazing. Thank you for making 2024 such a cool ass year. Hopefully we get more positive showers next year, yes. No, you make my year better. No, you. No.
Being this brainwashed, apologizing to Selene would be a major backtracking that would make any color corporate lose face. Apologizing over a poorly translated phrase is very minor, and they're just blaming a translator. Yeah, I agree. There is definitely a difference in that. Like, yes, pure copium, people who left, antis without any good reason to leave, people who stayed, true and honest fans. Yeah, Jesus, how bloody tone deaf or head in the sand can you be? Is she being held hostage? If you do not provide context will be forced upon you by the audience. It's a good sign that someone almost dying wasn't enough. Yeah, you can look at it like that, guys. I think we've missed out on that entire thing, okay? We shouldn't be looking at this as a bad thing, all right? If you think about it, like, has HoloLive ever had a talent commit suicide? You know, what would happen if that would happen to HoloLive? What if Shirakami Fubuki came out graduated next week and said, I have been bullied into suicide by my time at HoloLive? Do you think that HoloLive would survive? Nah, it'd probably fail. HoloLive would definitely fall apart for something like that. Niji Sanji, on the other hand, Niji Sanji has persevered and survived from something like that. So that really just shows that the company at heart is the best company, because no other company would have survived what Niji Sanji En has survived this year. Don't you agree with me? That's that's my free spin doctor of this whole event, okay? Alo tried killing herself after graduating. Yeah, I suppose that's true, but that was nowhere near as publicized, and it wasn't due to the company necessarily. Statistically, some of them have probably attempted it. That's entirely possible. That's entirely possible. I'm keeping an eye on the clock here because at 1 hour, I'm going to be making an announcement, by the way. It's an announcement of my graduation. No, it's not. I'm not graduating anytime soon. Any color's corporate decisions make a lot of sense when you look at them in the terms of being a manipulative narcissist. I agree. Well, the thing is that when you get further up the corporate chain, the kind of stuff that you get into is basically narcissism to begin with. Oh, just notice there's my own announcement there. I'll just turn that down. There we go. But that's really all I wanted to say about Niji En, because, yeah, Niji En is going to Niji En itself until it Niji ends. So there's also a bunch of other stuff that's going on. Before we continue, I just want to make a small announcement that when the thread hits 1,000 pages, I'm going to see about doing TVA in review streams again, because I was very distracted by my whole mother's health issues and the fact that I started doing gardening jobs quite seriously in the last couple of months, so I stopped doing TVA in review streams, even though they were doing pretty well and I enjoyed doing them, because I just got too far behind. And the problem is, when the thread moves on too fast, I'm left with this problem of, do I talk about the things that happened when I last looked, or do I talk about the things that happened new? Because either way, I'm kind of missing out on something, and it just got too much for me, and I couldn't divide my time sufficiently between all the things that I needed to do. But when it hits 1,000 pages, I think 1,000 pages and the start of 2025, because it's just about there right now. And Proctor hanging out with the hose, call it a gardening job. That's actually quite funny. Did you see what some ex-TVA members? I don't keep up with anything like that. Finally coming out of the shut up. But yeah, I'm going to start doing TVA and review streams again after 1,000 pages, and I'm going to try and keep it decently consistent this time, because I enjoy doing it. I think that having just a weekly recap of the forum's events is a very nice and cozy way for me to keep in contact with everybody. Okay, but where's the Pippa thread and review stream? The thing is that neither Thrang nor Reticule do voice chat, otherwise I would do a collab with them and go over the TVA Pippa thread and review. So if you want to ask Thrang and Reticule to go on stream with me sometime and talk about the Pippa thread, you're more than welcome to, but those people have to do it first. Hello, Rave Master J. Nice to see you. I realized I didn't greet anybody at the start of the stream either. The review streams were a good way to catch up as the thread moves at breakneck speeds for me. I do agree. Why am I getting a bunch of pings now? Oh my goodness. I've just looked at that ping. Good grief. I'm pretty sure that this design is not... Yeah, this design is not... I wouldn't be putting this on Twitch, shall we say. This is apparently Fury's 2.0 design. 1.0 design. Oh, that was her 1.0. That's fairly accurate, I suppose. Good grief. This woman doesn't stream on Twitch, does she? If Twitch lets her get away with this, I have no words. How yeah. She definitely can't show the waist down on Twitch. Holy crap, didn't realize you were streaming. Hey, dude, I put it on Twitter, I put it on my forum, and I pinged the Discord. What else do I have to do before people realize that I'm streaming? Good grief. It would fly if she streamed only from the shoulders up, kind of like how Ina's first outfit isn't actually Twitch compliant. Not the worst I've seen. Also, hello. Hello, Guildmate Troy. Nice to see you. Also, Magdalenus Rex as well. Schmuggums McGee. That's an interesting name. I like this. Okay. What is that monstrosity with a gun? It looks like a cross between a 1911 and a Luger. I mean, it's obviously some kind of... I love how that's what you focus on. Yeah, that's some kind of weird plastic thing. That's obviously not real. I mean, it's a unique design, but very 50/50 if it gets a hammer. Yes, it would most definitely get the hammer. I mean, look at those. Yeah, this is... I'm sorry, this is very much begone thought territory. It's just been so long since you were live, and yes, I'm yelling. Okay, okay. Who is that VTuber? Oh, the Gluger? The Gluger? What's the Gluger? Is there lore that... is there lore that I'm not aware of in all of this? Anyway, I'm not going to let myself get distracted because there has been stuff that I want to get on with. So let's just put that to one side. Remember that convo you had the other day about sponsors being scams? Literally just a week ago when Honey gets exposed and Kirsha does a video on HelloFresh using slave labor. Yep. Sponsors are generally scams. It's just the fact. If you have to sponsor somebody on YouTube to shill your product for you, it's probably a scam. But, yeah, speaking of TVA and review stuff, there was some stuff that I wanted to go over about that had happened recently, and we've got another 15 minutes till I need to give this announcement, so we'll dig into that. A 3D printed slob, most definitely. I'm more offended by the gun. I love that. This is why I love my community, okay? I can put a thought on screen, and you won't be offended by the thought, you'll be offended by the weird gun that's being pointed at her. Just never change, guys. Never change. This is VOLS, and VOLS has put out this announcement. This was on December 27th, so 3 days ago by now. Thank you for your ongoing support of VOLS and our talents. We deeply apologize for the inappropriate comments. As their agency, we take responsibility for the lack of oversight and will work with our talents to prevent this from happening again. This was Adora Fortune, who... Let me just go on this on Twitter. Why the hell has it gone to light mode again? I'm sorry about that. Hi everyone, I'd like to formally apologize for one of my tweets that I posted earlier. At the time of posting, my intentions were to simply join in on a popular meme/trend that was popular a few months ago, but I had unknowingly hurt some people by posting it, and for that I am very sorry. Intentions do not reflect the outcome, and I'm so sorry for hurting anyone who came across the tweet. I'll be conscientious to do better from now on. Following this, I'll be cancelling my stream today, as well as to give myself some time and space to reflect on my actions. Thank you for reading, and I apologize once again. Also, give me a moment while I set my thing back to... This is something that I really don't understand. On this streamer profile set of tabs that I have, every so often my Twitter will just set itself back to light mode, despite me having it on dark mode. I don't understand why, and it is very vexing. Accessibility and display. Display lights out. Notifications. Right, and let me just look at that message that I've got to just clear it from my... I'm not showing this on stream, am I? No, I'm not. Yeah, let me just... Again, I'm going to be distracted a little bit because of all the stuff that's kicking off at the moment. Excellent, lovely. Let me just reply to this 1 second, guys. Okay. Ooh, he's ignoring us. Ooh, look, I'm sorry. It is not my fault. All right? It is not my fault that every single time I schedule something, moments beforehand, stuff explodes. A Glock/Luger hybrid is a gun community shitpost, the very best of 20th century, 19th century technology. This whole thing has been a head scratcher. The girl's got a lot of attention. Yes, the whole stuff here has been very, very interesting. That's VOLS project. Yes, that's it. And yeah, let me go back to this. It's because you slept. I wish I could stop sleeping, okay? If anyone wants to hook me up with some of that good cocaine that I can use to stay to stay awake longer, that's good. But anyway, this was the tweet that she put out that got her disciplined by her agency. It's the hag fertility meme. Her company gave her an official warning and made her apologize because she put out a hag fertility tweet. Sav, I hear Raimu might know someone you can talk to? I have no idea what you're talking about, Sav, but I mean... My DMs are open on Twitter and Discord. If somebody wants to contact me, that's fine by me. But I probably don't want to discuss a literal agency talent potentially reaching out to somebody over a DM, so that's not a particularly sensible thing to do. That's a mild joke. No, the thing is, it got an awful lot of attention. An awful lot of attention. This is FRZ here. Is it Frez or FRZ? It's a joke. Okay. She had to apologize for a joke about getting old? Apparently. But Frizz looked into this, and he said, "So I did a little looking, and everything about this company doesn't make a lick of sense. The company is registered as Crazier Privated Limited, which is an absurd name. They decided that Crazier isn't hip enough, so they created a different term to call themselves. VOLS is actually an acronym of the most stupid VTuber company name you may have ever heard of, using logo made entirely out of shape that everyone loves, the triangle. The CEO of live streaming is someone who goes by the name of Arai Yosuke. Japanese born and lived in Japan. He moved to Singapore to become Client Partner Manager Japan Global Gaming for Meta, formerly known as Facebook. I honestly have no idea what his job is, or nor why does Meta randomly have a Japan branch located in Singapore. After 5 years, he left Meta to pursue a career that every Meta employee dreams of, owning a Singaporean VTubing company comprising of Filipinos. Virtual O's first generation composed of Shirosha Mikumi, Iria Synth, and Tenko Sorera, 3 flips. The CEO himself flew to Manila for one of the debut streams of all time. Note the standee on the left is not affiliated with VOLS. During this insanely high production, well-attended watch party, I'm detecting a tiny bit of sarcasm here, he was interviewed and tried selling his company as esports orientated in an attempt to pretend to be VSPO. But I highly doubt the ability of these gamers. For example, Mikumi, the VTuber on stream, was sold as an Apex Legends streamer. She recently did a Road to Platinum series, where she rage-quitted after 2 streams, abruptly ending the challenge at Gold 3. Her genmate Aria Synth seems a tad bit confused at esport titles. If you look closely, you can see her stream title being Valorant, Chill and Unrated. She's trying her best. Trying her best. Sorry about that Freudian slip. Being a flip comes with a natural debuff. The last Gen 1 member, Tenko Sorera, was terminated after a month. So why does Arai Yosuke hate fertility and childbirth so much that he forced his talent to apologize over a shitty fertility pill meme? Well, we have a theory. A game theory. Technically, I could be monetized on YouTube if I wanted to. So, I think for the sake of my potential monetization, I should only use this image as for illustrative purposes and not give my frank and full and honest assessment of what this image could imply. Also, I think we know where Proctor's eyes were actually looking for with that slip. Look. We all know this guy is in the chair. I mean, he does look like a chair appreciator, shall we say, and this man might just own a furniture store. Triangle Man beats Particle Man. Oh, what the hell? I've seen this hentai, unfortunately, Mistakes of Youth. Didn't realize it was dating you. Oh, God, shut up. Shut up! So I hope this is zoomed in enough, by the way. Anyway, Bronze continues. I also think that Bronze deserves a custom title or something at one point, because in the last year or so, Bronze has been a real sleuth for the community. I remember featuring the work that Bronze has done multiple times on this channel. I should really like give him a message or something specifically to thank him for all the work that he has done on TVA to kind of sleuth for these companies. But yeah, his, I think FRZ and Bronze and Murray have all done very good work tracking down information on all of these events that have been taking place. And that's what I really like about TVA. TVA has established itself a very nice niche with people who are willing to actually dig in to how these companies work, that are willing to do some proper investigation and some proper journalism in the uncorrupted, you know, unvomit-worthy state of the method of the usage of the word, rather. So I'm very grateful to everybody on TVA that has bothered to do this kind of research, because it genuinely does make the community stand out, and I'm very grateful to it. Like stuff with Iron Project and everything, all of that nonsense, that's been great. Murray's been a Chad in sleuthing. He's been quite good as well, definitely. There's also been... God damn it, I forget his name. The one in Iron Project who... not in Iron Project. The one in the Iron Project thread, I'm sorry. Who has been detailing all of the stuff that's going on and has been posting about all the stuff that they post on Twitter. That's been extremely helpful. I'm very grateful to everybody in this community who has gone out of their way to interface with platforms like Twitter, where they don't like. I know that a lot of TVA users absolutely despise Twitter with all of their hearts and souls. I completely understand Twitter is a hellscape. But if we are not willing to go to places like that and actually watch what people are posting and archive it when they say things, we are basically deaf and blind in the VTubing space. And I'm incredibly grateful to the people that have done their due diligence and have archived and backed up and checked out all of this kind of stuff. Magdalenus Rex, I heard something spectacularly bad happened with Iron, but there was never a stream on it. Is there a good TLDR in the thread? The thread is fairly long. I don't think there's necessarily a TLDR, but the thread marks feature is very good for getting around. To kind of give a summary of what happened at Iron Project, it was very badly and incompetently run by a kind of very egotistical woman and her girlfriend, pretty much, who were very bad at money management, who consistently stole money from the talents and discriminated against them. There was favoritism that was rampant, and basically there were ones in the... I won't name names because it's still all kind of he said and she said, even after everything. I believe it when people tell me things, but again, it's like word of mouth overall. But basically... the talents did try to organize several times to improve conditions at Iron Project. However, when they attempted to do so, there were members who basically were like, you know what, we would get a better deal with management if we told them everything that you're trying to do. So I'm just going to tattle on everything you do, and in exchange, I'm going to pay something like 20 or 30 euro for my entire IP when the company ends, whereas everybody else has to pay tens of thousands of dollars for their IP. And that's basically how Iron Project ended. If you bother to look at the archived tweets, you know exactly who that person who got that great deal was. And yeah, you know who had to pay the tens of thousands of dollars, or did not even get that opportunity. Guildmage Troy, Twitter is like watching the chimpanzees go to war. Sometimes fascinating, but potentially soul-crushing. It's when they eat the babies of the opposition that it gets really soul-crushing. Twitter is only hell if you interact with them, lol. If I were you, I would just lurk. I did try and interact a few times on Twitter before with people. My goodness, Twitter is home to some of the stupidest people in the entire universe. But it is genuinely fun to watch them throw poop at each other on a regular basis. Like hamsters. Yes. Also, I've just noticed it's gone to the hour, so it's going to be in like 1 second. So give me just 1 second, please. I need to check something. Yep. Let's type something here. Like hamsters. I love Emmy. I think Emmy is one of the cutest phase talents. All right, lads, pregnancy announcement incoming. Look, I know that. Look, I haven't managed to impregnate Kirsha yet. Okay, I know she's been vomiting a lot, but that's not morning sickness. Okay. Off topic, but the food banks in my country are out of food. Canada is a hellscape, and just get out of there as fast as possible. Just go over the border and declare yourself a refugee. Let me just refresh a few times, because the trouble is that there's a very slight out of sync here, so I'm not entirely sure what people have accomplished. Ah, yes, here we are. Oh no, that's something completely different. God damn it. The one time I hope my like improvement queue does work. God damn it. There we go. Emmy is the second best Danganronpa character. Are you saying someone beat you to it? Arclight, I hope you jump off a building. Icarus Windrune, don't want to end up like Darkstalker or whatever he calls himself, or Tourist. Darkstalker was a very interesting character, shall we say. But yeah, I think that I can go ahead now with it. Yeah, we have a new Asylum Awards thing that's going to happen. And I find it quite funny that because just as I'm about to announce the Asylum Awards of 2024, the last month, I think more stuff has happened that has been Asylum Awards worthy than has happened in the last 4 or 5 months. But yes, the 2024 Asylum Awards is going to be returning sometime very, very shortly. In fact, I believe that we might have a thread by the end of the stream, which I am most certainly looking forwards to. Allow me to just save this person to make sure I remember to approve them later on. There we go. And there we are. Attention all inmates, the 3rd annual TVA Awards have begun. Allow me to just put that on screen here. Let me just open a new tab first. There we go. Why does it not go straight to the thing? What the heck? What? What page am I on? That's not, what is going on here? Why can't I see the last of, why can't I see this thing going? Where is he? Okay, this is really stupid. Are you serious? Why can't I see this properly? I can see it on one screen, I can't see it on the other. What's going on? What the hell? That's bizarre. Guys, to understand what I'm doing, on my not streaming window, I have the TVA thread open. I refresh it, and there's an announcement there. It doesn't exist on this screen. Let me just refresh it again. It's not there. There should be a post under here, and I can't see it for some reason on this screen. What the hell is going on? Oh, the scuff. Anyway, we're finally here. Good grief. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. The TVA Awards of 2024. I do apologize for that nonsense. I have no idea why that didn't work properly. Proctor's breaking his own forum again. You would not believe how many times the forum broke when I was trying to update the rules. Like, using that whole nonsense. There was a post here, it's gone now, held for review. That's actually quite possible. I wonder if it is held for review. No, it's not. Okay, I'm just not going to question it, alright? I'm not going to question it. But yeah. The time has come for the 3rd. Are we seriously on the 3rd annual TVA Awards? Last year, I predicted that our culture would gradually change, as we are slowly overrun by newcomers, wondering why we talk so much about a no-name company like FaZe Connect, while ignoring the much larger Niji Sanji. This year has been almost completely dedicated to proving that prediction wrong, with the numerous controversies that destroyed Nijisanji's reputation, and FaZe Connect remaining as the last founding Western corpo simply by not imploding like its competitors. Another unexpected change that I find distinguishes this year from the last is the flow of talent. While last year many talents seemed to be moving up by reincarnating into larger companies, this year instead, many corpo talents have either returned to their indie accounts or joined the purple YouTube retirement home VHOSHO. 2024 has undoubtedly been a year of very low lows, but through these tragedies and controversies, many talents have ended up in much better positions than they were last year, and have been able to do things that they previously wouldn't have. So, let's celebrate this past year's events together. They were good, whether they were good, bad, or absolutely mad. Magdalenus Rex, was Mickey Nico the winner of anything? Perhaps the Menhera Award if there was one, and nobody could match her this year. Hello, Justin T as well. Nice to see you. So anyway, it's fairly obvious. Small note, due to popular demand, we have added an other option for those who do not care for a particular category or do not see their preferred choice included in a specific category. Just clarify your choice in the thread below or within the survey itself. If you do not wish to use Google Sheets, you can just write in your choices below. FaZe wins by doing nothing stupid. Well... We, of course, for the categories, we have Best Corpo, which is Hololive, FaZe Connect, Pixel Link, Brave, VHOSHO, and other. The Best Indie, Amiya Aranya, I love Amiya. Cleo Aite, Mozumi Peachy, this is the one you should vote for, by the way, just saying. You should definitely vote for the lady most voted most likely to found a new Flavian dynasty. Grimmy, Filian, Neurosama. 2View Spotlight, favored VTubers under 100 CCV. Capo Mio, Joruna. Loj, how on earth do you pronounce that name? I'm not even going to try. I have no idea. Loj Swanhild. Charlotte X Bear. I think she's quite cute. Tettle. I can think of a couple of reasons you'd vote Mozu. Yes. If a lucky box is your biggest scandal, then you're probably doing okay. The only major screw-up FaZe has done, as far as I saw anyway, is the Akon BS. What do you mean Akon BS? I'm not sure what you mean. The best reincarnation is Kaminari Clara, or Rayora Panthera. I actually really like Rayora. Cecilia Immergreen, Gigi Murin, Kana Yanagi, or Maeve Morviren. Oh, that's Lilybell. It's cute. Svanheld. Okay, sorry, maybe I said it wrong. The con that screwed Kirsche around. Oh, you mean... Why the hell is their name? Offkai. Sorry. Offkai. Yeah, but though, I mean, FaZe didn't have any problems with that. I mean, no, to put it another way, it was Offkai that screwed over FaZe. It wasn't FaZe that, so it wasn't necessarily FaZe that had a bad thing happen to them. It was just, that was very much almost, I would say, a good PR thing for FaZe, because FaZe basically sponsored the entirety of Offkai, and then Offkai screwed them over anyway. So yeah, that reflected very well on FaZe and very badly on Offkai. Pippa, Sheena, Sawa, and Kamiyoshi Kirsche are the only VTubers in existence. I do very much like Sheena. She's very sweet. Offkai was just hostile as a whole. Hex301, I'm just a little bit suspicious of FaZe regarding the whole Yuri situation. I like them, but they're still a corpo at the end of the day. I do agree. Clara has shot way up on my list. She's incredible. I used to like Clara, but then I kind of saw the kind of stuff that she was doing on her alt accounts, and yeah, suffice to say, I'm not going to be watching Clara any longer. But if you know about that, you know about that. I'm not going to drag it over the coals right here. We all know who the real Kamiyoshi is. Almighty Lolly in his 24-hour berserk video. Best newcomer. Kanagi Loki, Daya Fortuna, This is the one who has a bunch of dildos on her who has bought, like, she's got a tentacle dildo and a bunch of other dildos on her throne, and has been a ton of has had a ton of them bought for her by her fans. Yeah, it's a bit awkward liking a VTuber you know would hate you. Yeah, exactly. That's why I like TVA, because I am violently against the idea of supporting a talent who I know does not in at least some way share my viewpoint on the world, or who I know would endorse something I am completely against. So yeah, I like TVA for being honest about that kind of stuff. I think the death of the author should not apply for a public entertainer. Especially when they wish specific things to happen to your family members. Precisely. I support Leah, Panko, and Jelly. Would they hate me? I'm pretty convinced at this point that Panko is very genuine. I know very little about Leah. I think that Jelly is pretty based, honestly. Panko, very, very based. I think that Panko would be even more unhinged and unfiltered if she wasn't in phase. We had quite a few mask-off moments this year, didn't we? Yes, we did. 90% of VTubers probably share her views. When you say her, do you mean Clara? Rave Master J, your money should support people who like you. I greatly dislike the Hollywood model of making stuff and then hating their fans. I do agree. Leah would hate you if you're gay. Panko wouldn't hate you if you were brown, but she would keep bringing it up. Panko is a silly Italian woman. I do think that Panko is very nice. I really do enjoy... I also like Dizzy. I think that Dizzy is pretty cool. Yes, Clara. Let me be honest. This is going to be something that a lot of people don't like, but VTubing as a whole is an extremely, extremely progressive medium. And to be frank, I see the word based thrown around an awful lot towards people. And I don't think that 3/4 of them deserve it. I think there is an awful lot of VTubers out there who dabble in the whole kind of based audience, but it's purely a grift. They're purely doing it for money. Don't be fooled by them. Like, dig into them, look at what they are like, look at how they act on stream and off stream, and just be honest with yourself. Be honest. That's all I ask. I'm not trying to crush your experience. I'm not trying to tell you that you shouldn't love so-and-so because you like them. I want you to not be gullible. I don't want you to send $500 super chats to somebody because they're talking about an issue that you like, and then behind your back they're telling their friends, oh yeah, I just built these stupid right-wing idiots out of $500. I can't believe how easy they are to fool. Because I can guarantee you that is happening. And it's a real shame, but it happens. Give me a drink. Young creative females almost always lean left. Yes. And just remember, it is extremely, extremely difficult for anyone with a right-wing opinion to get any kind of attention in this industry. The second they say that out loud, though, they're done. Yeah, that's what they say behind the closed doors all the time. Jelly and Lumi are just sweethearts. I definitely like Jelly, put it that way. But anyway, let's get back to this. We've got the best newcomer, which I already... No, I stopped on Squirty Me, didn't you? You also have Ayase Yu and Dr. Nove E. Elias Anno. Didn't Uwu's Lab start streaming this year, or was he active in 2023 as well? Colin474, that's like 95% political YouTube, even outside of VTubing. There's good money to be made in reciting people's beliefs back to them. Absolutely. The King-ism, true. It took Kirsha quite some time before her audience grew way more. Yep, it took a long time. Most right-wingers are not creative. I'm convinced with what you said, Proctor. Thank you. Again, I don't want to disillusion people. I just want people to be honest with themselves. Gigatron 6, so many former theatre kids in VTubing. There's a lot who are a lot more right-wing than you'd think, but they have to keep quiet because of the progressive intolerance. There are some, I can tell you. There are some that are pretty similar to Kirsha out there in terms of their outlook and attitudes, but they can't speak up. Like, Kirsha is extremely fortunate in that she has managed to carve out a niche for herself, but She's carved out her niche for herself, but now she's basically radioactive for a vast amount of the VTuber industry. If you are in any way right-wing and you want to have a mainstream VTuber career, you have to hide your power level. And I mean hide your power level to an excessive degree. It bleeds through, though. You can tell who is faking it. Yeah, but some people are very willing to delude themselves. I'm just happy that my Oshi is too foreign and socially studied to care about politics. Gilbait Troy, Jelly is nice, but for premium programmer autism, it's a toss-up between her and a robot lady from New York, Ellie Minibot. I have not watched either. I've not watched Ellie before. Somebody I really do like. I really like Soy Milk. I like Soy Milk. She mostly streams on Twitch. I don't think she has a YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure she does. Give me one second. Let me just look it up, because that's going to be a damn hard name to look up on YouTube. Soy Milk. No, she doesn't have a... No, she does have a YouTube channel, but I don't think it has... I don't think she has... This is a VOD thing or anything. This is not her main thing. That'll work anyway, because Twitch has a nasty habit of showing personal information whenever I go to it. Oops. I really, really like this VTuber at the moment. She's one of my favorites.
Thank you for coming to Soidy's. How am I gonna take your order? You want me to milk my titty? I can't do that. What the fuck am I looking at? No! You gonna kiss me?
Your titties look heavy. Can I carry them for you?
What would you do if you were my sleep paralysis demon? So I would come in your ear. I gotta pee. I want you guys to watch. Look at this throbbing, massive cock.
This is quite old. She's actually upgraded her model significantly since then. That's 3 years ago, but yeah, I really love her energy. It's wonderful. She has fantastic energy. The unfiltered fun of small VTubers before they need to filter to grow. I mean, she's been around a long time. Don't tell me you're going to abandon Kirsha over her, are you? No, not at all. I'm never going to abandon Kirsha, but there's a lot of... the problem is, Kirsha is a wonderful streamer, but Kirsha can't do it on her own. She's just too isolated. I honestly believe that it's very important to find VTubers you think would share your opinions and would represent the ideals that you want to see represented in media, and you need to support them. Because otherwise, they're always just going to be the alternative. They're never going to have a chance at building anything of their own. So do please support based Oshis, and make sure they are based. Make sure they're not grifting from you. Dr. Mills, yeah, Kirsche is going from strength to strength, and she deserves it for sticking to her principles. She does stick to her principles, and that is why I am extremely in favor of her in all ways. Unfortunately, she's also a complete health wreck, so yeah, I really hope she gets better soon and gets treatment for all the many health issues she has. I think a change is coming come January. Can you be a little less vague posty about that, Dim the Lamp? The Kingism. I'm kind of surprised she got signed with Mythic, but I'm glad they don't try and silence her. I mean, don't forget that Mythic has false ID on its staff, too. I mean, not staff, but it's on its payroll. So, Mythic is not afraid of taking on controversial people at all. Check out Hairi. She's a cute doggo. I'm afraid I've never heard of her. I'm being beeped repeatedly again. Give me a second. When you're not logged in, the posts are 1 or 2 minutes late. Okay, that's a very interesting thing. Hex301. Howdy, hello, Suzu, as well. Nice to see you. I wonder how long until we see other mid-sized indies take the Kirsche pill and go for the market that is dying of thirst. And to be fair, being associated with Purple Keemstar isn't a promising sign. I mean, I really don't like False ID at all. He is the definition of controlled opposition, but it's very obvious but it's very obvious that Mythic is not afraid of signing up people that are very controversial. Anyway, we've got just a bunch of best cover stuff, but I barely listen to covers, so I'm going to skip over that. Best new character design, which is Squirimi, Kanagi Loki, Ryora Panthera, Gigi Murin Twisty, Amano Zako, Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame, Cecilia Immergreen. Of these, I really like Ryora. Again, she's got a lovely design. But then again, she does have a fluffy tail, so I may be biased in this regard. All of Kirsha's health problems line up with the nerve issue. People underestimate how much chronic pain can screw someone up. I have an aunt who's been dealing with it since she got hit by a car. It really is tragic. I sincerely hope she's able to get help for her nerve pain. If Kirsha is actually able to get all of her health issues under control, I think she will be a titan of VTubing in 2025 and 2026. You're closer to this than I am. Am I brainworming in being a bit concerned about Kirsha being part of any agency? As you said, she's radioactive. Mythic is, from everything that I have heard, Mythic is very, very hands-off when it comes to content. Mythic does not care what your politics are and what your attitudes are on stream. They care about you paying them money, which is how a company ought to work. And if Kirsha has signed up to Mythic, I think that Mythic is a good place for her. If Mythic will take her, that's good. Isn't she using weed to manage it? She does use gummies, I think, but she has been able to get actual proper pain medication for a while. Hex 301, Kirsha couldn't continue to be Kirsha if she signed with an actual VTuber corpo. It'd kill her content. Mythic is strictly talent management, which is refreshing. That's basically the thing in a nutshell. It is just talent management. Mythic has absolutely no control over what Kirsha says. And Mythic is not the kind of company that if it suddenly decides, hey, we're going to drop you, it's not going to kill Kirsha as a brand. It's not like getting fired from FaZe Connect or something. It would be annoying, but it wouldn't be devastating or destructive to her. I'm confident in that. I'm very confident in that. More water. Best new outfit: Goth Fauna, Necromancer Grimmy, Roman Mozumi Peachy. You should be voting for Roman Mozumi Peachy. This outfit is honestly one of the best in the entire industry right now. It's amazing. I love Roman Mozumi Peachy, okay? There is no question that this should be winning, okay? I fully expect if I have any control over your minds right now, vote for Mozumi Peachy, okay? I trust you guys to do the right thing. Emo Mume, Crab Sheena, NASA Redesign, Bounty Hunter Doki Bird. Those are all pretty damn good picks, honestly. Yeah, that was a great outfit. Wish we got more Roman-inspired things. It's actually something, her second option. She considered having a different model that I think was something like military soldier themed, but she was worried that it would be considered like insensitive or whatever. So she had to go with the Roman thing as a bit of a safer option. I think she wanted like a soldier from the Cold War that was like really stereotypical with the whole crayon chewing thing. But yeah, she decided to take it a bit safer than that because it might be offensive to some people. And I don't mean like screaming liberals. I mean in terms of people that have actually served in wars, which I can understand. I think it's still a shame. I think that Cold War era Mozumi Peachy outfit would be pretty fantastic. And I sincerely hope she does go down that route at some point. We really need a gun tuber who has that kind of design, who goes full in with it. Because the tactical gun tubers I just don't particularly like. I prefer the historical kind. Not in terms of content. It's just the theme that I don't like. Cold War era would be a change of pace. That's exactly what I mean. Like a Cold War like kind of thing would be great. Necromancer Grimmy telling the skeletons to clean their room to get their lives together. It'd take a lot to beat the windmill armband Pippa art, though. Oh dear. Yeah, but that's just art. That's not official. Most notable graduation/return to India. I mean, let's be honest. Selene is winning this immediately and easily. Maybe Pomu might win it. And I suppose that Amelia could stand a chance as well. But yeah, Selene feels like the very obvious pick here. I didn't even know that. Oh, it's saying / return to Indy, so this can be full graduations too. Yeah, I'd say that Selene is probably going to win this one pretty easily. I personally wasn't all that crazy about Doki's Bounty Hunter skin, to be honest. I mean, each to their own, each to their own. If you want good historical gun tour, I think you mean gun tuber, look up British muzzle loader. Allow me to just save that for 1 second. So that I can look it up later. Otherwise, I will immediately forget. Thank you very much for that recommendation. The popular gun tubers tend to be entertaining in their own right as well as informative. What was the name of the one who died of cancer this year? I only watched a bit of his content, but he was fantastic. Possibly one of the best gun tubers that has ever lived, and it's pretty tragic that he died. But I've honestly... Paul Harrell, yes. If there's someone that can pull off a Paul Harrell style of gun tuber as a VTuber, that's a gold mine. That's a gold mine right there. But it would be very difficult. Very difficult. GunTuber is kind of dangerous. Hiko45 got done dirty and he's basically the internet's grandpa. I have no idea who Hiko45 is, I'm afraid. Let's look down here. Nichi Sanji's biggest L of the year. Illyra's black screen stream. Nichi Sanji EN cancelling 2 concerts 1 week before the date due to low sales. The negligible losses reported to investors. Music producer hired by Nichi is outed as a huge creep, harassing and possibly drugging talents. What were they expecting when they hired a man named Yap? Oh dear. Multiple leaks outing Aster as a sex pest and manipulator are released, and Nichi Sanji seemingly going after the leakers rather than / along with the perpetrator. Having to send out a PSA telling people not to mix energy drinks and alcohol. Losing at least one net member from each Nichi EN gen, aside from the most recent one before the second to last gen's first anniversary. I think that Illyra's black screen stream, good grief, is still pretty high up there in terms of disasters for the company. The negligible losses document was the funniest at the very least, I do agree. The concert cancellations were funnier because of the amount of shitposting on VT and Cope on Twitter. That's also what Raimu said. Oh, I'm so glad that I was able to do my concerts. Yeah, you and very few other people, darling. Oops, all L's. How would you do that, aka gun tubing without flesh posting? That's a good question. I do think that you could have some... I mean, let's be perfectly honest. Do we really care too much about seeing a VTuber's arms in 2024? Like, it's current year, guys. Do we care that much? Miki Nico moment of the year. Getting exposed for abusing her husband and A-logging him on 5chan, getting wasted after trying to sell out her teammates in Rust, reincarnating as Yoruna Ruki of 910 Inc., aka Wactor, attempting suicide over unauthorized memes, getting trolled by Chinami on Twitter and considering legal action against her. Miki Nico tries to relive the old days by playing a Holocure, announcing that she is single and ready to mingle. Could you fix Miki Nico? Actually, you know what? Let me make that oh, hello, armchair expert. Nice to see you here. Old school fan dead from Harushia days. There's no fixing that one. Yeah, I can't fix her. I'm man enough to admit that. I would give it a try. There's some real brave lads in the TVA core, okay? Cosplaying as... That's actually a good point. I'm surprised that cosplaying as Rushia wasn't on this list. I'm just going to call her Rushia from now on, honestly. Certified Miki Nico moment. Armchair expert. Hand cams, but at the range instead of the kitchen would be a refreshing change. You know, I completely agree with you. I'm actually going to screenshot that and send it to someone I know because they were considering doing something like that. That's actually a very good point. That would be a fantastic stream. Like a VTuber doing a gun stream, but it was just them at the range with... Have people like Sleepy Project done that before? VHosho's next merch is 3D scan-based male pleasure toy. I hope that's a joke and not an actual thing they're doing. I would not try to fix her. Either romance, I'd be her friend. Rin friend, you're a braver man than me. You can't pay me to fix her. I love how 6% of people are saying yes. Let me just zoom in on this a little bit, actually, so that I can see the text better. Instant karma. Shizzy makes a hypocritical video calling out the VTuber community for racism. Ends up getting called out for being an abusive boyfriend and being friends with smash pedos. Fruit drops a 90-page document trying to paint herself as an abuse victim, which only dredges up the fact that she cheated on her husband while he was deployed. Comments pointing this out ratio her original post. Is that post still up, by the way? Did she ever delete it, or is it still up there? The Brazil Warmonic, aka Luca Kaneshiro doc. Nolan goes on a tirade after Proctor's collab with Armchair, which earns him a special stream and a potential KF thread. Small Lola tried to copy Shy Lily's design multiple times for drama and clout, but people caught on and called her out. That's a pretty good one, actually. Short Fat Otaku decided to be a clout-chasing femboy in Pippa's chat on the day of Fauna's announcement. She tells him off for harassing Kirsha, which leads to him melting down and some of his associates disowning him. That would be my pick for the year, honestly. Short Fat Otaku is one of the most pathetic wastes of flesh that I have ever seen in my entire life. And just for people that are not aware of the full details of this, people who have extensions that let them see deleted messages on Pippa's stream, or the streams of people's chats in general, when Short Fat Otaku joined Pippa's stream, he tried to bypass the word filter by saying the word that Bundle of Sticks refers to. He tried to say a slur in her stream almost immediately when he joined, and was filtered. And so... yeah, he was absolutely 100% trying to stir shit. What they did to Kirsha was horrid, but there's a special place in hell for people like Dev who stabbed their friends in the back like he did to Aiden Paladin. Especially after Aiden telling us more about his antics recently, but disgusting behavior from him. Someone has been archiving all the Pippa chats, that's how they found it. Yep, that very good of them. That clip is on your Discord, by the way. Yep, don't worry, I'm not going to play it again, but, yeah. I'm trying to think if I should go into this. I'll finish this first. Instant karma. Manhera Supreme Gunpie starts a needless spat with plushie creator Kusa. The entire VTuber fanbase turns against her and she gets kicked off of Uwu Market. I like this one a lot, by the way. These two would definitely be high on my list. Either the SFO thing or the Gunpie instant karma. Both of those are great. Vote for either of these, personally. Never trust the leaf. Unfortunately, the day of the rake cannot come fast enough for the leafs. Girl fail of the year. Oh, yes. Hexa acquiring a Sonic Chew medallion, deleting all of her VTuber files, nuking her own chance at a corpo job, and ruining her reputation on TVA. Yeah, you guys know exactly what you should vote for this. I hope Hexa enjoyed the Stellaverse debuts. Yeah, because Hexa was supposed to be in Stellaverse, by the way. She was supposed to be in Stellarverse, and then she managed to completely screw herself out and get fired from the company by whining about it in her Discord to over 100 people. Momosuza Nene's ODs on gummies and almost dies. Miori Celestia doxing herself and her fans and going through cyclical meltdowns. To be perfectly honest, I think that's kind of sad, because I think that somebody mentioned that one of her closest friends killed themselves recently. And that's kind of why Miori Celestia has been so melty recently, because she's got a really bad case of survivor's guilt for her friend killing themselves and her, well, not killing herself. So, honestly, I wouldn't vote for this woman. I wouldn't vote for this, because that's a little bit harsh. I think everything else here is very much kind of self-inflicted, but Miori, I think she at the very least has an excuse, because that kind of thing absolutely messes people up. Grimmy convincing herself that she has metal inside of her body and having a panic attack before an MRI scan. Okay, that one's really funny. Terumi Koizumi paying to be shielded on TVA goes as well as you would expect. Bay Mori's absolute fire hazard of a hovel. I have not seen the hovel, I'm afraid, but yeah, you know which one I want you all to vote for this one. Disappointments of the year. Bad business decisions, stupid sponsorships, cringe collabs, and other letdowns. Lisa joining Idol only for it to be sold off to Brave soon after. Hololive bends the knee to China and returns to Billy. Clara politisburging on her roommate Instagram after Trump won the election. Yeah, that's pretty high on my list. Kirsha gets blacklisted from Offkai. FaZe also has technical issues which may or may not have been attempts at sabotage. Sayu Synchronicity joins Noah despite the company's very shady practices. She also did a... What it doesn't mention here is that Sayu did a members stream after she joined Noah Talent. And she basically 100% said, yeah, this was the best decision of my life. Everyone who didn't agree with me doing that is a hater. I find the people who called Noah out and pointed out all the bad things they've done to be absolutely nothing but dreadful, awful, horrible people who should just... I won't say that because he didn't literally say that, but... And the company has been wonderful, amazing, awesome, fantastic, and just, like, gives me constant orgasms every single day. They're that brilliant. My God, I love the Chinese in every way. It was really cringe. Really, 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 really cringe. And very embarrassing. It really affected my opinion of her, honestly. I kind of expect Tuba's roommate to be politically stupid on other accounts at this point, so Clara wasn't really a surprise. I mean, honestly, the kind of stuff that she said was... Is Sayu okay? No, she isn't. She's retarded. What, plus 10,000 points added to her social score? Sippies. Kaeson's Tenga sponsorship, Coco died for this. Fillion announcing a Nendoroid without owning the copyrights to her VTuber model, causing her to stop selling all merch. Sayu got love-bombed, given her insecurities. This is how that kind of person reacts to that. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Clara is a leaf day of the rake. It's a big selection here. Obviously, my personal bias is, of course, Kirsha. But Clara and Sayu are all pretty high on the list. These three definitely, I think, take the cake over any of the other options. The Fillion Yab was a pretty funny one. So is Amiya, and I wouldn't rake her. Amiya is a lovely spider. Amiya is a lovely spider. Asylum historical event. I discover my Y chromosome for a single night to smack down Hexa. Person exposed himself as a scat fetishist. TVA gets raided by two fruit schizos, Makato Lich and Rain Blackrose. Thrang successfully won Guy's Pippa into being baptized Catholic in Roblox in order to rid her of the Sonic Shoe Battalion's curse. Proctor receives a cursed artifact, the cum tablet, now with 99.999 less cum. You heard that Makato now hates fruit? No, I didn't. What are you talking about? He hates fruit? What? You've got to give me details on that. TVA makes a cookbook for Pippa. That was really wholesome and really cute. Jambalaya / God's Strongest Dragoon wins the face clipping contest. That was really funny. I do sincerely wonder if Sakura actually knows that happened. That would be really, really funny. Yeah, he's had an anti-turn. People posted about it in his thread. I've got to look that up. I'm afraid I haven't. Somebody's got to link me to that. Let me just look at the Discord for a second. No, that's nothing to do with that. Which one am I looking at? Yeah, I'm using this tablet, the tablet right now, to look at chat, by the way. Like, that's the chat screen at the moment. That is that tablet. It's actually a really nice tablet. I love it. It was one of the best. That is honestly... This might not actually be an asylum historical event, but it was definitely a personal event. The fact I managed to get nearly... I think this tablet is worth about 200 euros, by the way. So I got a 200 euro tablet out of this incident. So I am extremely happy with how that turned out. This was the asylum's first artifact to fail. If this tablet ever breaks, I am unironically going to keep it. Even if it is broken and completely unfixable, because it is genuinely an artifact to fail, an artifact of historical significance to the virtual asylum. Mystery / rat of the year. The Grat. Elia has been functioning as Niji Ien's management and giving her clique preferential treatment. Why was Mel terminated? Is Kotoka at fault? Aqua graduating due to pregnancy / marriage. Grimmy got a job with either Funimation, Niji Sanji, or Hololive, but got scared back out of graduation in the last minute. Dizzy is Sakuna's wife. No, my Garat is always going to be that Uruka is Sakuna's wife. Twisty is a VT spy that has been leaking Niji info to drama tubers. Also, she's black. I mean, is the second part even a rat? Who scammed who? Eileen or the Chinese businessman? I mean, maybe they scammed each other. You never know. The Elia rat is a pretty powerful one. Wouldn't you rather have one without semen on it? Literally all we had to do is wipe the screen down. It's not difficult. It's a glass screen, okay? Like, listen to that noise. That's a hard, solid, and clear screen. Like, stuff that gets on it is not going to be hard to get off it again. I remember that. What a wild week to be a Grimmy fan that was. I'm really glad that she stayed around. WTF moment of the year. Gator being the catalyst to Ethan Ralph going on some retarded campaign against VTubers and the resulting failed doxes and threads on KF. Ex-owner of Cyberlife, Misaki Sato, streams with promises of exposing what happened to her company, only it isn't her but some skinwalking person I can't see on YouTube. We learn nothing and I am very scared. That was a very strange thing. I do agree. Did you at least disinfect it? Of course I did. The Twisty thing isn't even really a rat at this point. She's the most likely person who spoke to false ID in regards to the Asta situation. We don't talk about that person. Breadtuber, CP apologist, and horsecock enthusiast Vaush is found to have porn of Matsuri. I love that one. Phase Connect, seemingly having a guardian angel. Talents gets dox maxed only for it to be instantly overshadowed and being the only survivor among the founding EN corpos just by letting their competition burn themselves to the ground. Pippa flexes her cryptid powers by commanding the Duende on street. I have no idea what this is talking about. Pippa is allegedly face doxed by a raptor puppet. A murder and multiple break-ins are recorded on VTuber streams. Yeah, that with the 2024 has been pretty major in terms of that much. Like, I forget, it wasn't actually a VTuber who was murdered. A murder happened right next to their house. Oh yeah, she actually commanded a guy on live TV. Okay, some guy drove out to a road camera on the house. Okay, I see. Of all the Hollow girls, why Matsuri? And he did push-ups and stuff. Oh, that's cute. When she got some dude to jump on a live traffic cam on stream, that's really cute. And then Camilla almost getting broken in on. I'm glad she survived that, obviously. What about that boom Kirsche heard early this year? I've forgotten what that is as well. The family member of the year. A lot of VTubers had their family members on stream. Which was your favorite? Papakin, Peko Mama, Rin Mama, Narissa's sister, Aradia, Brie Cookie Box's mom, Batel's twin Tubert, Doobie's brother Dooney. I don't really watch these people, so... Well, I obviously watch Pippa, but I don't really have much of an opinion about this. I will say that Narissa's... Isn't it Narissa's mother who got that fan art that is like one of the unironically hottest VTuber fan arts I've ever seen in my life? I forget where I've seen it. It's on the Discord somewhere, but yeah, the Narissa mother fan art. Oh my, that activated some elements, let me tell you. That was absolutely beautiful. Matsuri is very much not a small girl if you watch her clips for 5 minutes. Papakin for 2024, but I can see Dooney winning 2025 if he makes more appearances. Hag of the Year, celebrating our favorite 30-plus women. Inugami Korone, Cleo Aite, Hosho Marin, Amir Aranya, Shishiro Botan, Okami Mio, Chisuka Airi. Botan will always be top 10 for me. I think she is so adorable. If Botan was an English streamer, I would watch her every single night. The only problem is, of course, she's Japanese, so I can't watch her. Cleo is also very high tier for... I think she's like... Isn't she like post 40 or something? Like very old for a VTuber? Like that voice does not come out of a young throat, put it that way. I'm between Korone and Irie. I wish I could be between Korone and Irie. Let's be honest. Sawa. She's just a kid, actually. Botan is a wonderful, wonderful person. I really wish I could meet Botan. Like, she's really lovely. Botan would be your gun-tuber. There's an alternate universe where Botan is a VTuber in America, speaks English, and is a gun-tuber. That would be so beautiful. I think that would be the English Gura, honestly. That would be so beautiful. Don't make me dream of better things, guys. Don't make me hope. Inmate of the Year, Empty Inbox, Williamshaven, Jambalaya, Jebby, Shuba Saber, Balak. I think that Empty Inbox and Shuba Saber, I'm kind of sad that Bronze isn't on here because there has been a lot of, as I said earlier, there have been some people that have done fantastic things for the site. Irie, just because she is great as well, they wish she would free herself from her black company. I think there's something interesting going on there. I really do wonder about that. Who knows? Maybe I would. That's one of the things I would genuinely like to know about. I want to know what company Irie works for, and I want to know why she can't leave. Like, for hard facts, not just rats. That is unironically one of the pieces of VTuber information I would most like to know. I'm being beeped. I'm live. I swear if he doesn't know I'm live, that'll be very irritating. The best event/collab of the year. Enrico, Tenma Fever, and the Trial of Emmy Isami. I love Emmy, she's so cute. Hollow GTA, WrestleTuber 2024, Aqua's Graduation Live, Pixel Link V-Simp, Hollow 5th Fez. I mean, we all know who the Hollow Bronies in the thread are gonna vote for. Pardon me. You should post this thread on the banner, Proctor. I will at the end of stream. I'm not gonna do it live. Sorry, give me 1 second. I can feel an enormous belch coming on. Oh dear. Sorry about that. Either GTA or Fifth Fez for me. They're all pretty good. Unfortunately, I don't tend to watch collabs too much because I prefer it when a streamer is interacting with chat, so I tend to just kind of... Collaborations tend to just be background noise for me rather than something I proactively watch or go out of my way to enjoy. Kirsche being the obvious exception. Like, Kirsche and the Fish Princess are always an absolute trip. As fun as Hollow GTA was, WrestleTuber gets my vote. I think the Hollow GTA, from what I saw of it, was extremely high quality. That was really, really fun. Madlinus Rex, it seemed like after Mel's termination, Hololive was doing great, and then A-Chan left, and everything just went to shit. I'm going to be a doomer for a moment. I do apologize for this, but I really do think that Hololive in 2025 is not going to be the Hololive of, like, 2022 or 2023. I really do think that... I am genuinely bracing quite hard for more negative news from Hololive. I feel very strongly that there is something wrong with the core of the company. It's going to turn out badly. I'm not saying they're going to become Nichi Sanji. I'm not saying they're going to go into the dumpster. But I am not hopeful. That's all that I can say. And I'm not saying that from, I secretly know the next 5 Hololive talents that are going to graduate. No, I know nothing about that. I have absolutely zero contact with anyone in Hololive. Trust me, I do not matter that much. But simply from my perception of everything that's going wrong and my knowledge of how the industry works, I am just more than a little black-pilled on Hololive at the moment, guys. And I hope that, again, if I am wrong, please feel free to call me retarded. I want to be wrong on all of these things. I want to be wrong when I'm negative. When I say that something is bad, I want to be proven wrong. I want to be proven a fool. I want people to call me a moron and an idiot and to remind me a year later how wrong that I was. Because that would mean that good things are happening. I don't want to be right about bad things all the time. Armchair expert. I'm anticipating that over the next year, being a fan of Hololive is going to become a lot more difficult than being a fan of Hololive's talents. I think that's a pretty good way to put it, actually, Armchair. I do agree with you. Rin friend, people are going to assume you know a lot since these things always get blown into proportion. You are the VTuber info boogeyman now. I mean, it's nice that I live rent-free in VT's head all the time. That's kind of hilarious. I never read VT. I don't even know how to post on 4chan or anything like that, but I quite often get sent screenshots of people just absolutely spurging out about me in 4chan. And I'm like, guys, I don't understand. It's not difficult to talk to women, guys. It really isn't, okay? Hex301. I've got this feeling that Hololive is going to do a Disney Star Wars with VTubing, but that's just me. Yeah, that's actually not a bad commentary. Yes, it is. Women are scary. Women are not scary at all, okay? A lot of women... He talks to his mother every day. I do. I have a very, very strong relationship with my dear and beloved mother. You'll end up in Parrot's video. I don't watch Parrot 4chan, so I don't really know what you're talking about there, I'm afraid. Proctor is a masochist all along. I'm not a masochist, guys. I just would prefer it if I was wrong instead of being right. If you're not Italian and find yourself talking to a deaf woman, you might change your mind. What? Lacius, speaking of VT, quality of threads mildly improved after they introduced a 15-minute wait period before posting, or email verification. On the other hand, email verification on 4chan is disgusting. I mean, look, I think I've said this before, but there's no way that I would ever actually post on something like 4chan, because you're not allowed to use a VPN on 4chan. Yeah, as Colin474 just said, imagine giving your email to VT mods. There is no way in hell I wouldn't be doxxed almost immediately if I signed up and used 4chan without a VPN. Because I live in Ireland. How many other Irish posters are there on the internet, okay? That's a very small pool of people. The moment I started saying anything in any kind of VT thread or whatever, they'd immediately be like, yeah, this guy's an Irish IP, this has got to be proctored, we've got to kill him. Which would be hilarious, but I would not do that. That's just very stupid. I have no idea how to pronounce that name. Hashiria R32. I wonder how that 4chan randomly managed to correctly predict 10 of the collab units for 5th Fez hours before the first con started because some HoloLive talent posted on it. It's pretty obvious. I mean, I remember that people have seemingly forgotten that Ayunda Risu and other people like that were very, very open about posting on 4chan. Ayunda Risu has unironically said things like, hello VT members on her streams before. And you've got people like Raimu Endo who have been caught with links to VT on their desktop. Practically all of the VTubers that I've ever spoken to either have a 4chan addiction or they say that they hate 4chan because it's turned their friends into mad people, because every time they end a stream, they'll go to VT and see what VT had to say about their stream. I mean, I know, I don't talk, not directly, but I have been told stories of VTubers who not just proactively post on VT, but also send screenshots of every single thing that is said about them on VT to all of their friends, and even go out of their way to ban anyone in their streams who they think is posting on VT at the same time. And I mean, like, they will go to the extent of saving posts on VT and then comparing it to the styles of typing that people in their chat use, and then banning that person if they suspect that is the same person that's posting on VT. That is how insane they go. Lol cow behavior, yes. VT is why every other board hates e-celeb threads. You have 4chan. It's just so insane. Like, how on earth would you even tell? It's nonsense. Just, you shouldn't care what a bunch of brown people are saying about you, okay? Remember when Hexa flipped out because she saw people talking crap about her on VT while she was live? Yeah, and that's what got Pippa to drop her and what got FaZe to declare her immediate persona non grata. We have 4chan at home. It's called TVA! Rin friend, I remember Panko looking at the 4chan screenshot with Birth the Manko meme. I don't know if she browses or posts. It wouldn't surprise me if Panko seems like the kind of person who would actually be able to surf VT without going insane. Roll up again. I saw an interesting comment. Where is it now? Where's it gone? Oh, I should also be in live chat. I hope I haven't missed any messages because of that. Didn't I close that already? End poll. Sorry about that. I thought I closed that poll ages ago. My apologies. Barasan 435. 4chan turned to the worst around 2017. I wouldn't be shocked if they're a honeypot currently. Look, if anybody thinks that 4chan isn't a honeypot, you are banned from using a VPN on 4chan. Of course it's a honeypot. Of course it is. You are on a government database if you use 4chan, alright? Anything aside, if you don't think that, that's cope. That is a massive amount of cope. Panko is probably banned for racism outside of B. How do they know you are using one? It's the same on my forum. If anybody is... Like, companies know when you are using a VPN, okay? VPNs use lists of IPs that are public. If on TVA, I can see the IP logs of every member that joins and posts. If I go to that IP log, I can look at anyone... I can look up automatically the IPs of anybody who's joined. And it will immediately tell me if they're using a VPN or not. Sometimes it has to guess. but it's able to tell if you're using a VPN. It's very easy, okay? And not just free VPNs, it'll pick up Photon VPN, it'll pick up NordVPN or any other etc. VPN. And it's not, when I say it detects a VPN, I don't mean that it can tell who you are through the VPN. It just knows that this poster is using a VPN, okay? It's not doxing your full IP or anything. It's just saying, hey, this guy's using a VPN. Do you want to do anything about it? Oh, excuse me. But Proctor, what about all the notorious hacker groups from 4chan Anonymous? Surely the Fed doesn't know about all of them, right? Gigadramon 6, the VPN services have IPs they own. You just need to detect those IPs. Yes, exactly. That's how they can block VPNs. Because the VPNs just filter all of your traffic through one of their own IP lists. Pontiff of Ponwolf, about 5 minutes behind. We did learn the name of Irie's Korean Black Company back during the Mega Phase docs. I forgot the name, but I've never heard of it prior to that. I mean, I prefer not to talk about that stuff because that legitimately was illegal levels of doxing that include people's talents, addresses, and everything. I still get shit to this day for allowing people to discuss the Phase docs on TVA. It still were accusations of, oh, TVA is a malicious, evil dox posting forum. They keep real live doxes on their site. It's disgusting and it should get taken down. And I'm like, no, you idiot. I just allow people to acknowledge that doxing actually happened. Arclight, when hundreds of people use the same IP, it goes on the flag list. Yeah, exactly. Colin 474, you can still obscure yourself somewhat on 4chan by buying a pass with crypto, since that bypasses the VPN blocks, but most people aren't going to do that. Lachius, not malicious, excuse me, not malicious, chaotic neutral overall in D&D terms. Muffy Graves, I've never seen a dox on TVA. Yeah, I actually updated the rules. Let me actually go to this. And I think it's worth actually discussing the official rules stuff. Because I updated these rules a while ago. And what I did basically was just, I changed the cardinal rules a little bit. And I thought it's worth... oh, sorry. My head is just spinning a tiny bit. TVA is actually a place where Fujoshis go to see ridicule and Thrang live fanfiction moments. I'm going to pin that. Pin message. That's worth a pin. And then we also have to mute this stuff on. There we go, because I'm getting pinged yet again. There we go. Even on Discord, someone found me and never showed my face. Yeah, we have a level of honor, okay? What rules? The rules you sign up for. There were actually dox attempts, all failed. It didn't matter, though, in the banter thread some weeks ago, if I remember correctly. I mean, put it this way, I don't really care. I don't really care if people are idiots on TVA and manage to get themselves doxed. And it's as easy as, like, Googling a person's username and finding their Facebook. That's not a dox. That's somebody being an idiot. And to be honest, like, some people just don't care. Like, I think Cubano Man was... like doxed or something, and he said, I don't care, I'm a Venezuelan. What are you going to do with my dox information? I live in Venezuela. Like, nobody bloody cares. Zuli, Ridicule and Thrang fanfic is on the forums while Thrang and Proctor do it behind DMs. We don't talk about that. Don't expose me like that. Yeah, let me look through that. What did I change? Yeah, I think that number 2 is the most important part. Users shall not engage in illegal activities. This includes on-site and anywhere else their identities can be easily linked to. This is a bit of an adjustment to the rules we had previously, and to be honest, it comes from multiple sources. One of the major things was actually inspired by SFO, because SFO was raked over the coals for having a pedophile in his Discord server, and it's a very public thing where he was like, yeah, but they're not a pedophile on my Discord server. They're a pedophile off my Discord server, and I don't ban people on my Discord server for doing things outside of my server. which was a very, very good PR move. A very sensible thing for him to say that did not backfire in any capacity whatsoever. Muffy Graves, I mean, I'd show my face anyways. Y'all don't think I'm an actual woman at times. Please do not be gaslit into giving yourself a face reveal because people don't think you're a woman, please. And the problem that I see, that I think is fairly reasonable, is that some places will allow people on, for example, I think it's, who was it? Like that idiot, the darker than black moron or whatever. How many something awful mods were out there as pedos? More than 0, and that was worse. So if someone gets a speeding ticket, they get banned. Don't be an idiot. Don't be a moron. Gidramon 6. Meanwhile, SFO banned Ace 1918 for owning him in an argument on Twitter. Exactly. It's like, if you are on my website and you are posting under a name and you're a nice person or whatever, okay, that's fine. If you are then on another site under a name that is very obviously the same, if you are doxing people, or if you are asking for a talent's nudes, or if you are acting like a pedophile, the Dark Injurian, that was the guy, yeah, I am going to ban you. I don't care if you're a nice person in my community. You don't get to have a safe harbor to be a nice person while at the same time you are doing either illegal things or genuinely morally monstrous things somewhere else. What about tax evasion? Speaking purely, why you're talking about that being illegal? No, that's not illegal. That's a public service. It annoys me. I have to ceaselessly apologize for Dev being Canadian. Where is it? Yeah, I think that also it's worth going over this TVA as a dog site thing. And I added here, doxing is a common problem in the VTuber community. However, it is also a very ill-defined problem. No universal legal definition of doxing exists, and no two people have identical definitions of what doxing someone entails. Many doxes are not acquired through illegal means or by malicious actions, but by the stupidity and carelessness of VTubers themselves. For these individuals, we recommend reading our OPSEC guide. I don't think I posted on TVA to the Discord. Yeah, you're fine, Muffy Graves. And this is, I was inspired to write this and add this because it's something that Null was asked about before on Kiwi Farms. And he was asked, why do you allow people to post doxes? And he said pretty much the same thing, that there's no legal definition of a dox, and there is no way to tell what people consider a dox at all. Like, ask two people what a dox is, and you'll get two different answers. CBM, VTubers, why are we getting doxed? How? Also VTubers, join the VTubers versus real face trend. Plaster their faces everywhere, and then open a fansly with their faces plastered on it. Yeah, exactly. This is my point. VTubers have a very, very bad understanding of what is actually traceable and what actually isn't. And I do not consider it a dox if a VTuber has something like a fansly and they post their real face on it. It's not a dox to say that this is this VTuber's real face. If they very obviously are posting their real face on accounts that are connected to their VTuber, account. Arin friends, do you think there should be legal repercussions for a dox? I think intent is the defining factor there. For example, if somebody took dox information and posted it somewhere like a group that organized swatting for somebody and said, this is all of this person's information, I want you to swat them, I want you to tell the police they're murdering someone so they send armed police to their door and potentially kill them. I don't think that is necessarily... No, it is something that will be prosecuted, but it should not be necessarily prosecuted as a dox. It should be prosecuted as some kind of felony attempting to get the person hurt. I think there's a split line there, and it's a legal quagmire, a very legal quagmire. And I think also it's not something that should be illegal. It should just be publicly dissuaded. Swatting is a crime, not the copy posting an address. Yeah, but I do think that in that case, the person who posted the address does share some legal responsibility for the potential consequences. It's a form of attempted battery. That's actually a pretty decent way to put it. In my book, if you use illegal methods like phishing or social engineering, then it counts as a dox. Now, if people find it via public record, then that's on you. I also do agree. I think that there's no question that a dox that is obtained, like, for example... I think a good example of something that I think it should genuinely be illegal is doxing somebody if you're inside a company and you have access to their employment records and you dox somebody via their employment records that you have access to. That, I think, is definitely illegal. Hex 301, it's like its distinction between murder and manslaughter both involve killing someone, but one has intent. Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. I think that social shaming for doxing is perfectly okay. Like, somebody should be called out if they've done something stupid like that. But at the same time, it's like, just get over it. If you've willingly let your information be out there on the internet and somebody reposts it, that's on you. That's not on the person who shared it. The problem with that is that any law written to stop doxing, even targeting malicious users, would catch other people in the crossfire. Yeah, again, it's a legal quagmire. You can't... There is no way to have a one-size-fits-all ruling on this kind of thing. I think that every single incident should be judged based on the specifics of the way that it happened and what resulted from it. I think that's the only way you can go about that. Cadley Fox, like the Viespo Docs incident, that guy should be in jail. Yep, again, there are some examples where I think malicious intent is very obvious and very provable. Docs from using your employment status to dig for your info is grounds for summary dismissal and criminal charges. Yeah, and you know what? There's a couple of people in VTubing who should be given summary dismissal and criminal charges for that kind of thing. You can't really ban doxing because of the nebulous definition of it, but a legal tort for harm caused as a result of disseminating private information could work. I do think there would be grounds for that, actually. That's not a bad way to... That's not... Again, it could be terrible, it could be abused, but I think that legal tort for harm is probably the closest thing you're ever going to get to a decent way to prevent doxing. CBM, for example, a big majority of the source of doxes is funny enough criminal records and court trials paperwork. Yep. But anyway, that's just my opinion on the whole thing, and I think people calling TVA a dox site... I issue a challenge to anyone who thinks that TVA is a dox site. Go and find a single example of a VTuber's dox that points directly to their home address that is allowed on TVA. Find me one that was not willingly first posted by the talent for some reason. Like, I have legitimately even tried to find the personal information of some people just to prove that it's out there. For example, like the Kenji docs. I got together some people and I asked them and I trusted them and I said, can you find this guy's information? Because I don't believe this guy has actually been doxed. And they went looking on places like VT and what I think it's dead now, like Nifco, and Kenshi was never doxed on any of those platforms, despite having that whole like multi-million viewer pity party about, oh no, I was doxed, I was living in fear of my life for years, it was so awful and terrible, I was being attacked for being a black man on the internet and it was awful and please feel pity for me, oh no, it's so awful. Like, no, he was never doxed, ever. It's only because TVA is linked to KF, people don't care what the actual rules are. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the case. That's the case. Yeah, I don't see his docs on Nifco. He was never doxed. That whole thing was a massive, just massive gay up. Let me just have a drink again, because I'm nearly through this water. Did I change anything else? No, just the whole enforcement methods and infractions and punishment stuff. Was there anything else in the rules? Nope. Oh, there was an update. There was an update. 6. Do not post pornographic material of any nature to this site. Do not post NSFW Lolicon or Shotacon artwork ever. See the section entitled The Lolly and Lolicon Question below for details. And I'm not going to go into a massive amount of detail in this because it's a rabbit hole. However, I updated this policy because for a very long time, I have tried to be as free, as pro freedom of speech on the lolly question as possible. Because I don't like lolicon. I don't like lolly. But at the same time, I have a very open attitude to people being into what they're into. I don't feel that it's for me to judge other people based on whether they like to look at cute girls in dresses. Unfortunately, that attitude has gotten me nothing but pain and suffering and misery and disappointment. Every single time, without a slightest exception, that I have that I've interacted with somebody who has been openly into lolly or lolicon, or even just lolly by itself. A cunny poster, as you might call them. And I've been like, you know what, I don't care what you're into, I just want to talk to you on the basis of something else or whatever. Every single time, I have later learned they've been into something nastier than just lolicon or whatever. And I found out that they've been getting more and more questionable, and they've been delving into stuff that is like, I don't like it, but I understand that if you like it, to, I don't like this, and I think you should be Sodom and Gomorrah for watching it. There have been no exceptions to that rule, ever. And recently I've seen stuff like people defending certain artists who went out there and declared very, very openly and very directly, I really, really want to do naughty things to children. Like, completely unambiguously, without any trace of irony or sarcasm, said, yes, I do in fact want to have more than casual relationships with real-life children. And those people are getting defended by the lolicon community, who were saying things like, oh no, they didn't really mean it. They were in a bad space mentally. It was a really harsh time for them. They've got an awful lot of hate and an awful lot of misery, so you should really forgive them, and they got treatment for it. They don't want to do that anymore. And that was the last straw for me. That was the last straw for me. I was just like, no, I'm sorry. If you are out there saying, this person who said, I really, really want to have more than casual relationships with children is a good person because they've reformed after what they did and said, sorry, you belong against the wall with them. And that's why I kind of went back and I updated this, because I'm tired of trying to turn a blind eye to this stuff and getting called a pedophile for doing it. That's the thing, is that when I ignore this kind of stuff, people who don't like me, or people who don't care about me but like are anti-lolicon or whatever, say, oh yeah, you're a pedophile too because you don't purge these people from your community. So I am just tired of this. I am tired of dealing with this shit on my forum, and I am tired of dealing with this shit in my community. So this is my line in the sand. Yes, Gigatramon6 said, unless those confessions are made as part of a literal "this is why I came to Jesus" testimonial, it's a problem. Even then, yeah. I don't want to dwell on this. Again, this is genuinely a very dark and miserable thing for me because, yeah, depriving the antis of ammo. I mean, that's part of it. It's more like, I genuinely don't think, I don't buy the shield any longer. Like, let me just look up for a second. Let me just look it up on my archives here, personally, that I have. It's something that Null posted about lolicons that I really pushed back on him at the time and I was really upset that he would say such a thing, and I think this was really, like, stupid and weird about him. But the last year and a half has just proved him right. Like, hashtag null was right. Let me actually post this on my private, on my Discord, so that then I can put it on screen, because this isn't hosted anywhere. Let me take a sip of water first, please. Wait, what? There we go. Here we are. I'm just going to read this out because, yeah, hashtag null was right. To anyone on the fence, I tried for years, in good faith, to assume that lolicons were not pedophiles. I grew up with a lot of posting on 4chan, was heavily involved in 8chan, and wanted to host my own successor after 9chan died. I made ardent defenses of it, many still visible on the forum. It was very difficult to even make this because people would call me a pedophile for even making it, but I wanted to stand by the libertarian ideal. I rationalized that it was mostly just a petite thing, and even if it was a pedo thing, it'd be better if pedos were jerking off to drawings than real kids. I can now promise you, with 100% certainty, after dealing with 8chan and 9chan, that the users who post on /lolly are the same ones spamming child porn on /b and trying to set up /cute girls. Japanese art and hentai is all sort of ambiguous. They love to draw prepubescent girls and call them 17 years old. But anyone deliberately seeking out lolicons specifically is sexually attracted to the bodies of underdeveloped girls. I remember there was an artist named Russell who traced real child pornography into his lolicon art and he got arrested for it. I still see those images get posted around on 4chan to this day, because the people posting it know what they are doing. It's really not up for debate as far as I'm concerned. Lolicon has basically just become a dog whistle for pedophiles to find each other, as demonstrated with this guy using his Steam ID Lolicon, posting pictures of children on his profile and hanging out in pedophile groups to make friends. Yeah, hashtag null was right. Let me look up in chat to catch up with you. Honestly, it's fair to put some emotion to it. You really don't have to deal with this all the time. It's just really annoying. The Mythos Boys teaser just dropped. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, the 8chan experience was pretty bad for Null. I really have so much sympathy for that poor man. Like, if I am ever in the same area as Null, I will buy that. I won't just buy that man a beer. I will take him to a bar and say, I will pay for this entire tab tonight. I don't care. Just drink your heart out. I will be there. I will carry you back home. I will let you throw up in my toilet if you have to. But you deserve this after everything that you've done. Which is ironic, considering that he would hate me and passionately loathe me for what I'm running a VTuber for him. Gigatramon 6, bad actors will take advantage of any kind of principles you may have to get you to just not act. The only thing evil needs to win is for good men to do nothing. Yeah, and I really need to have that tattooed on the inside of my eyes. This is the fiction versus reality debate all over again. And that's the thing. You can have fiction. I don't care. I still, to this day, don't particularly care if you are, like, into, say, Lalafell porn or whatever. I think you're weird and you're creepy, but I don't think you're necessarily a pedophile. But the trouble is, the fact is, the literal evidence-based fact that you cannot get away from is that if somebody is into that kind of thing, there's a fairly damn high chance that they're using it as a shield to also get away with worse stuff. And it's like the things you can't say about socioeconomically disadvantaged people in America. We all know the FBI statistics. It's that, but for cartoon women on the internet, okay? If you think of it like that, it works. All Lullafells need to be punted. I think Lullafells are cute. I mean, not the porn of Lullafells, but I just find Lullafells as I like cute characters, okay? Gilmage Troy, it's not fiction versus reality, it's pattern recognition and protecting yourself. Yes. Rave Master J, sewage mixed with wine is sewage. Wine with a drop of sewage is sewage. That's also a good way to put it. I like that analogy. 8 Arclight, Josh's enemies will always use his 8chan connection against him. Yeah, I just don't care. I'm done with that kind of thing. I can't deal with that kind of thing any longer. Alex, nonsense, he'd love you. You got VTuber discussers off his website. Yeah, I suppose he does owe me just a little bit for that in a way. He does owe me for that a tiny bit. But yeah, that's a very heavy subject, and I'm sorry for inflicting it on you all. I know that there's a lot of people out there that will very passionately defend the idea of lolicon and ever, and I trust that some of those people genuinely are like, oh, I like cute girls. I like small cute girls, and hey, I like short stacks, so, you know, I'm not one to talk when it comes to the whole the height of consent nonsense. I do think that's hilarious and ridiculous. But yeah, there's a lot of nonsense out there that I just don't care about any longer. I think that it's annoying, and I get constantly tarred and feathered over it, and I'm just tired of it. I would rather be seen as a hardliner in some ways and just avoid an entire swath of nonsense that I don't want to deal with than be permissive and constantly have to fight other people's battles for them. Like, absolutely constantly. So anyway, thank you for listening to that ridiculous tangent that I had to deal with. What else do I want to look at right now? Yes, there was some cute stuff that I wanted to look at as well, which I think is decent because we're slowly reaching towards 3 hours, and I think 3 hours is when my throat will finally give out, so I'll close off that nonsense for now. A lot of people here like Jerry. I quite like Jerry as well. I don't watch a huge amount of her, but from everything that I've heard, she's a very cute and very intense kind of girl. This is Jelly, who this year reached 30k followers on Twitter, raged against the modern gaming industry, had multiple public breakdowns over couples in public, lost Momonga keychains touching grass, became a FaZe Connect idol despite family issues. Because as Jelly is Moon Jelly. I mean, that's the most... I hope I don't get accused of doxing Jelly from FaZe Connect over her being Moon Jelly, okay? That would be a little bit insane. It's fun when she gets fired up. Yeah, she is very, very fun when she's intense. Moon Jelly says, having Christmas to myself and away from distractions really made me think about stuff. I'm really grateful that I'm receiving support just doing what I do here. I'll give it my all. I won't ever let my passion be taken away. Thank you for appreciating me. And here she said, almost 2 weeks ago, she made a nice membership post on YouTube. I won't post the whole thing since it's membership, but I'll share this paragraph. You guys give meaning to my days, and I've never looked forward to the future in a positive way such as this. All my life, I've only ever looked forward to escaping situations, whether it be school or family. So actually being excited for the future is a very new yet anxious feeling. I want to keep spending more of my life with you. I used to worry a bit about Jelly, especially when she seemed to be overworking herself doing extra stuff for FaZe on top of her regular Jelly stuff and her Moon Jelly work on top of whatever else she does in her life. She definitely does seem to overwork herself at times. Or to scroll down so you can actually see that. But seeing her say things like this at least shows she's happy doing what she does. Been nice to see. I hope she continues to be happy with everything she does, and she has plenty more moments we can affectionately tease her over. FaZe Invaders' previous identities are so poorly kept, it's actually kind of funny. I mean, I think that, why on earth has her name gone into my head? Dizzy. Like, Dizzy has legitimately used her CyberLive model before. It's a shame that I didn't see more of Dizzy when she was in CyberLive, because I actually quite like her CyberLive model. It was quite nice. Sorry. Oh dear, I'm gonna belch. 1 second. Ugh. Sorry about that. Dizzy literally used her old model to berate Dizzy in a peak Kino Schizo stream. I need to blow my nose as well, actually, sorry. And yes, Svarog contributed to this. He had all of these quotes. And he said, Jelly lives in a medieval Muslim country. Sharia law allows men to have multiple wives. In inheritance cases, the male would inherit more. I mean, I'm not sure I disagree with that. Female genital mutilation is still practiced in Malaysia, with an estimated more than 90% of women from Muslim families having undergone the practice. Isn't it really funny how you never see progressive types talking about female genital mutilation in Muslim communities? How strange! How weird! Some women and girls have been victims of sex trafficking in Malaysia. They have been forced into prostitution and marriages in Asia and other continents and are physically and psychologically abused. Women in Malaysia have restrictions in marriage. Under the Islamic family law, the wife's maintenance by her husband is conditioned on her obedience. You know what? I actually kind of agree with that one. Sorry. Sorry, I hope that's not going too far. How does this girl stay sane in such an environment? And getting out of the country can be a problem too. You need a birth certificate there, which your parents might just not give you, like with Remy last year, and you may need permission from the father as the oldest man in the family. So in this situation, even a green card won't help. You reading that makes me reach back to my Satanist youth and wanting redacted things to happen to such places and cultures. Remember before joining Phase Connect, she wrote about being threatened by her landlord and there was nothing she could do. Let's have a look at this. Oh yeah, I vaguely remember this being discussed in the first part. Landlord just broke the contract and she has neither the moral strength nor the money to fight him, and is also afraid of physical reprisals. I do not know about the laws and their observance in Malaysia, but it is a Muslim country, and in such countries, women are always guilty a priori. Moon Jelly, it's against the contract, but I can't sue them because it costs money that I don't have. It's the landlords who needs to do it to evict you. If you decide to stay on, there is nothing the landlord can do. Have you thought about... Yeah, people get murdered doing this, okay? If you try and stay in a property, like, it happens in India all the time, you will get murdered if you do this. Don't follow this guy's advice, okay? I mean, they can't evict willy-nilly. They have to give sufficient notice or compensate since they are the ones breaking the contract, assuming, of course, the agreement is in order. Yeah, Moon Jelly has the rational argument here. Have you thought about the fact that I am an under 5-foot woman, and if they express discontent that I am staying in the apartment, they might do things to try and get me to leave? Oh, let me have... that's the full version. It's not about the agreement anymore. If they can break contact like that, they can knock on my door. I don't have the funds to sue. And what if they have a copy of the key? At this point, it's smarter to find a new place and let it go, not for the sake of justice, but for my safety and mental well-being. This is the sane course of action here, okay? Don't be a girl boss in a Muslim country. Let me just tell you a story. This didn't take place in Malaysia. It happened in Indonesia. I had, like, in my religion, we dispatch missionaries to certain locations. One of those missionary couples, a missionary couple from my religion, went to Indonesia. And in fairness, they really like Indonesia. They really like proselytizing in Indonesia. However, when they went to Indonesia, they got an Indonesian rental apartment. During COVID, the Indonesian landlord changed how the propane gas system in their apartment was functional while they were away. He did not tell them that he messed with the gas system. So they came home, Unbeknownst to them, there was a gas leak. Gas in Indonesia is not scented. So you can have a gas leak and you have no way to smell it. So this missionary's husband went to start the gas fire, and blew himself up. Blew up the entire apartment. He was left with burns over 90% of his body and died a few days later. And she was trapped under rubble. Fortunately, she wasn't severely hurt. She was badly cut up and obviously, you know, in a very bad way, but she wasn't seriously hurt. Her husband was killed. He died. So obviously after that happened, she had to leave the country and go back to Ireland to take care of things like the funeral. While she was away, the landlord of the property sued her for breaking contract and blamed her for the damage to the apartment. I'm just letting that sink in for a second. They are pretty, Arclight, they are pretty full on with the Islamic stuff in Eich. They don't play around. I don't know what you mean by ACEH. I heard this story on 4chan or KF. No, this literally happened. This literally happened to a couple of mine. To personal friends of my family. The husband was killed. I mean, I'm certain that it's happened before. But it's a state in Indonesia. Oh, I see. Sounds like there's at least a defense of frustration on purpose. Placed as a visit from Vlad Tepes. Again, people are woefully ignorant of how barbaric the third world is. It's really, really nasty out there. Landlords are shitty no matter where in the world they are. Shouldn't be a surprise to you. I mean, do you forget I'm being literally evicted from my house? Well, I'm not, because we fought it more or less successfully, and they're in America now, and they will never come back. So I'm pretty safe. At Jeh, practiced full Sharia compromise between the rebels and the government after the 2004 tsunami. Ah. Were you the one who talked about this on 4chan or KF? Then I swore I saw the story. I don't doubt you. I just assumed that you wouldn't be the one to know. Small world. I think I might have posted about it on KF once before. Oh, yeah, you still in that barn situation then? What do you mean by barn situation? We're still in the same house that we've always been in, which is nice. The landlord moved back to... Here's a story about how miserly and pathetic our landlords are. So, they just to recap it very quickly, they have their own property on land that is connected to ours. And they wanted to sell their property and ours. We are a rental property on their land. Basically, they had an illegal rental contract that only came out after they wanted to throw us out. I thought there was an outbuilding or something. Yeah, I'm in a shed right now. A shed is where I stream from. It's a nice insulated shed. It's very nice. But, yeah. So they originally wanted to sell the entire area they were on, which included our house. They wanted to sell all of that at one lot. As one lot, rather. They wanted us out so they could sell the whole place as one lot. And they had their property up for sale the entire time that they were trying to evict us. He's in the cock shed. And... so I'm just going to focus my thoughts for a second on this. What happened was, they had their property up for sale for, like, several €100,000 the entire time. I won't put it in an exact figure because that would kind of soft dox me in a way. But yeah, it was let's say 600,000. Let's say 600,000. That's not the right number, but it's thereabouts. So they had their entire property on sale for €600,000. That included our house. Now, while we were in dispute with them, they managed to successfully sell their house before it was clear whether we would leave or not. recently, their new tenants moved in, okay? So they're gone. They moved into the new property because during that, before they left, we basically got to a point where the government says you can't throw these people out. You could still like take them to court or whatever, but you can't throw them out and sell the property as a whole unit. And so what they did before they left was they bought a whole lot of fencing material and they basically fenced off our entire area of land that we live on and segregated it from their lot that they then sold as a single lot to these new people that have moved in. We went and met these new people after they moved in, and they told us that after they paid 600,000 euro for the entire lot, including our place, only after they had paid that money did they get told that they would not actually be getting our property at the bottom as well. After they had already been locked into the sale and had paid the money. Oh, and also, as they were leaving their house, the landlord cancelled all the civil services. Like internet, electricity, water, etc. He cancelled all those. So the new people who moved into that house had to re-sign up to all council services. That's fraud? Yeah, they don't give a fuck. They don't give the slightest fuck. They're in America. They're in California now. They don't care. It is fraud, but they don't care. Hot dogs aplenty. His parent were sick of seeing him talk to Chinamation girls online, so they banished him to the shed. No, I've always streamed from my shed. Guildmage Troy, it's because most NAs and EUs live relatively sheltered lives and believe other countries are like their country, and other peoples are like their people, and reality is not so kind. It is, most definitely is not. Gigdramon 6, yeah, it's illegal, but international lawsuits are... Yeah, exactly, they have run this entire operation on the basis that the moment anybody starts to ask questions, they can just move to California. They don't have to care about it. All their money is already in American bank accounts. Nobody gives a shit over in America. Nobody's going to say to them, hey, go and answer these court summons in Ireland. They don't give a damn. So they've basically... I mean, they haven't necessarily gotten away with it because they went to sell our land as well, but we're staying here. We're not going anywhere. Rich Californians are terrible as a general rule. Of course they are. I hate California. I wish California would sink into the sea. California is a disgusting, degraded, horrible state, and honestly, I think the first Superman movie, where Lex Luthor bombs the Canadian fault line to make the rest of not Canada, California, like the Californian fault line. When he bombs that, he should just Superman should have just let California sink into the sea. You cannot understand just how bad California really is unless you actually live there. I know so many people that live in California that hate it so much. If Cali sinks right now, we lose Pippa. So Pippa doesn't live in California. I'm 99% certain she doesn't live in California. Armchair expert. Multiculturalism education has destroyed people's ability to conceptualize basic differences between different cultures and peoples. I quite agree. I very much agree. Superman 3. That was Superman 1. It is definitely Superman 1. Superman 3 is the one where they make a giant, angry metal monster. And Superman 4 is just anti-nuclear madness, and then Lex Luthor comes onto a rock and makes Nuclear Man. It's a very bad movie. Don't watch it. Sorry, 1 second. Zuli, that brings up an interesting point of a recent book I was listening to. End made the point on if you remove the culture from a people, Western people typically, and also in the book, assume, you completely messed up that sentence, and I have no idea what you're talking about. I hope to hell I'm wrong, but when Kirsche visited Pippers and brought the grass, well, maybe do you think that Kirsche would go to California? I mean, I don't want to go into detail from it because I have no idea how much of it is like genuinely open public information, so I'm not going to discuss Pippa's location on stream, but yeah, she's definitely not in California. From every single thing that I've heard, she's not in California. Superman 3 feels like a parody. It's very much parodic. Proctor, isn't it 1 a.m. for you? I will end the stream at 1 a.m. I'm only going to be another 13 minutes or so. I'm not going to stream for more than 3 hours. There was a comment that I wanted to respond to earlier up here. Let's have a look at it. Somebody, where was it? Somebody said you won. Where on earth was that comment gone? Where the hell is it gone? Where's that leave you? Are you going to have a chance of legally owning at the end? And then Rave Master J says they can't come back without getting arrested. They can't evict you. I mean, the trouble is that in order to get arrested, there would actually be have to be a case against them. And the trouble is most people just don't care enough, honestly. But as far as the option to legally own, it's like not impossible. Adverse possession has very, very dubious legal grounds in Ireland. Let me put it this way. At this point, to get us, let's assume for a second that they get away with absolutely everything they've ever done. In order to remove us from this property at the moment, they would have to first return to Ireland. Then second, they would have to appeal the decision that was made by the courts. And then they would have to start a legal case against us for which they would be liable for all costs and charges, and it would have to go to a judge. So, yeah, even if they started all of that tomorrow, it would take a minimum of 2 years. My personal thought on the matter is they are going to stay in America and they are just going to pretend this place doesn't exist. Because, again, they are multi-millionaires in America. They have no need to care about what happens to this place at all for any other reason than spite. So, my opinion is that they will just keep taking rent from us and just will never care about this in the future. I am almost convinced we've heard the last of this. They'll just pretend we don't exist from now on, which is fine by me. Fine by me. Arclight and contested eviction can be a really difficult in certain jurisdictions. There's no way it would happen here. I'm convinced. I'm absolutely convinced. Also, they are Jewish. No, they're not Jewish, unfortunately. They are Irish and Californian. End of the book made the point of, if you remove the culture from a people, Western people in the book, assume they will just take up their culture instantly. Try that again now. I think that makes a bit more sense. Thank you. That makes a bit more sense, and I do agree with that. Weed is kind of everywhere. It grows like a weed. You can't grow marijuana in Ireland, I'm pretty certain. Oh, thank God she's not in California. Yeah, any VTuber that willingly lives in California, I genuinely pity them. I truly pity them. Hey, don't throw that shade on to my side. Gilbench Troy, if Cali wasn't taken over by the US, it would be the worst single-party oligarchy with even less constitutional protection. I mean, people forget that California was, like, very hardcore right-wing for decades and decades of the 20th century. It wasn't until, like, the 1970s or so that it went hard left. Now, what else am I going to... There's something else that I want to bring up as well. Yes, give me 1 second, guys. I want to look this up before we end the stream. There's 2 things here I want to bring up. I want to make sure they don't show me any. Yeah, for those that for some reason are not aware, Paste and go. Yes. I'm going to VExpo again this year. It's in September, so it's a very long time away, but last year when I went to VExpo, I stayed pretty subdued and on the down low because I was just a little bit, I didn't want to cause any hassle or disruption, but the people I spoke to at VExpo were pretty nice, and I had a fun time at VExpo. I made a few contacts, I got some cards, and this year, there's a chance that I might actually meet some people at VExpo that I would quite like to meet. And there's also a chance that I could bring some merchandise there as well, because I have been subtly working on merchandise for TVA for a while. It would be really cool if I could bring something along to VExpo if anybody happens to be there. Which would be really, really fun. 9 months, I hope that within 9 months nothing too insane happens in the VTubing industry. I mean, look at it this way, in VExpo featured talents from Iron Project. Iron Project fell apart like only a couple of months later. In fact, I think there's like two or three groups that were at VExpo that are now gone, just dead. Guildmage Troy, a lot of places were pretty hardcore conservative until the subversion took hold. Proctor, I'm trying to do my part to preserve Texas, but it may be an uphill battle. I'm surprised you aren't considered persona non grata by conventions. I mean, I very directly contacted the owners of VExpo, or rather one of their major people, and I said, hey, is it okay if I show up? And he was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And I'm going to assume that he's okay with me being there this month. I know there's some people on VT that are really mad that I said that I wanted to punch Mary for wearing that retarded hat at in the front row of a bunch of events that he attended. I somehow don't think that is going to get me thrown out of VExpo, guys. I somehow doubt it. And besides, here's the thing. Astonishingly enough, my actual real-life face has not been doxed from VExpo. I'm really surprised by that. I genuinely am surprised that my real-life name has not been leaked from me being at VExpo. So let me put it this way. Even if VExpo officially banned me from coming, they don't know who I am. They don't know. They have no idea which ticket is mine, and they have no idea, you know, who I look like or anything. So at absolute worst, they would have to send somebody after me and throw me out after I'd already been there, which would be very fun. I would most definitely record it. Some artist would recognize your right arm. Thank you for the 9-month gift sub. You just heard that in Kirsch's voice. We'll get Proctor booted as his hateful lolicon. Proctor tempting fate right now. I mean, look, I want to be completely honest with everybody. I don't want to be someone who acts in the shadows. I want to be honest with people, and I don't want to pretend to be somebody that I'm not. Whenever I reach out to somebody, I'm always very clear about who I am. I say, hi, I'm Proctor Zakharov. I run the virtual asylum. And probably a lot of those people have been told, that is a horrible, evil doxer. Never talk to him. And I've been blocked by multiple people for saying who I am. And I'm okay with that. I want people to make an informed, honest choice about whether or not they want to associate with me. And if they decide they don't want to, that's their right. I am not entitled to be anywhere. I am not entitled to anybody's attention. And so, I'm okay if they don't want to associate with me. That's fine. I just don't want them to lie to me and not be honest to me about why they're doing it. That's it. That's all that I want. Because I'm not for everybody, and that's fine. The eminences in shadow are cool, though. Start practicing Moonlight Sinatra. I don't know what you're talking about, I'm afraid. And also, there's another thing that I'm going to be at a lot sooner, actually. I'm going to be at Dokomi. I really like the look of Dokomi. It looks pretty damn cool. And I am going to be there on, June from the 6th to the 8th. And there's like literally zero chance of me getting banned from this because it's not even a VTuber convention, so don't worry about that. This looks really cool. So there's 2 conventions that I'll be at least in 2025. Maybe there'll be another one, who knows? But I'm really looking forward to it all. I think that 2025, for me anyway, is going to be pretty damn good. And I'm going to do my best to make as many connections as I can, because I want to help the industry as much as possible. I want to help small VTubers as well. I know there are some that work with certain merch distributors that I've been casually talking to, that I'm also interested in about getting merch from. I want to put the Asylum out there as a brand as much as I can. I'll be perfectly honest. The number of people that have been shitting on the idea of TVA being accepted by anywhere is one of the primary motivators that I have for getting stuff like merchandise and so on. That's pure spite, honestly. I want to do it because they said that I can't. All conventions are too far away from me. Where on earth are you living, Dim the Lamp? I think there's conventions pretty much everywhere. Yeah, I know there's going to be quite a few VTubers at Dokomi as well, which I think is even more cool. So we'll see how things go. Although they have not yet announced. Have they announced their special guests yet? I don't think they have. Overview of all guests. Yeah, they haven't announced them yet, but they'll definitely be. They'll definitely be Israel. Oh my goodness, I sincerely pity you. But there'll definitely be VTubers here, so we'll see how that goes. Anyway, guys, spite is a powerful motivator. It absolutely is. Spite is an immensely powerful motivator, and I am more than happy to take advantage of that. Well, guys, it is now 12:56 a.m. The closest convention to me would have to be in Vancouver or Edmonton, both thousands of miles. My goodness, you live in the middle of nowhere, mate. You poor guy. Proctor, can you break Kiara Stoker's balls if you see him? Maybe. Unfortunately, this is in Germany, so they don't have particularly good track records for letting people defend themselves legally, even when it's malicious stuff. But anyway, guys, I'm probably going to end... I'm definitely going to end the stream here now because my throat is hurting just a bit. I am also starting to feel very sleepy, and hopefully I'll be up relatively early tomorrow. Thank you very much for the good stream. Give me a second, guys, because I haven't actually checked. I wonder if anybody is live right now that I could raid. Please give me a second to see who is live on YouTube. Let me just refresh, actually, because I have no idea. Let me just turn off my desktop audio too. Have a good New Year's, Proctor. Yeah, thank you. I mean, 2024 was a terrible year, but I really hope that 2025 is better. Although, again, I wish to emphasize that I'm fairly black-pilled on the whole VTuber corporation stuff. Indies definitely seem to be where it's at the moment. Unfortunately, most of the people that I would like to raid are on Twitch, which I don't think I can raid. Sheena? Yeah, okay, we can raid Sheena, sure. Sheena's cute. Just 1 second then. Let me just set up a redirect. If she allows redirects, I'm not sure if she can. How do I do that? Redirect. Search videos from other channels. Yes, that actually works. Let's hope 2025 ain't a bloodbath. Again, I really hope that it isn't. Okay, that's set up. I will see you all later then. Thank you very much for coming, and please be nice on Sheena's stream. She is a very, very lovely and very tiny lady. Please give her lots of compliments and affection, please. Have a nice day, and have a nice 2025. Good luck for the next year, and have a not Nietzsche Christmas. A great filter. Very nice hag. Yeah, Sheila is a lovely hag. Anyway, thank you again, guys. Please take care, and I will end the stream here. Good night. Good night, everybody.